Hey, I'm Michael Denicola.
I'm Megan Lennius.
Hey there, I'm Midream LA.
I am Samuel Tucker Young.
And I'm Mecabad. Welcome to Creative Casters.
And you turn and Seven just...
What?
That's worse than a dragon!
I saw you painting that, and I disapprove, Seb.
It was an age where time did not exist. The age of the gods. Discord came, and the gods waged war amongst themselves for supremacy. The crumbling worlds led to the collapse of creation. But creation fought back. Time appeared, imposing its curse to the vain immortals. If they dared to reappear, they would suffer the punishment and be forever forgotten. Thus, the age of the gods ended. However, Dominion holds a grudge. After thousands of years in exile, the gods continue to wage war through their incarnates. The balance is once again under threat. The curse of time is fading. The ultimate age has come.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 11 now. Episode 11 of Creative Casters. Last week, we left our wonderful adventurers, the Dragon's Guild of Lostbjorn.
Dragon's Guild of Lostbjorn.
Well, he doesn't like
you
that
guys,
name, damn it.
Right. You guys were exploring this secret underground chamber you stumbled upon after trying to track down these stolen items from Emmett. You made your way past a series of traps, as well as did battle with this huge jelly cube, and found this kind of underground hideouts, maybe like a weapons cache, staging area, a little unclear, but you found several crates and stuff full of all kinds of like silvered weapons and jewelry. You found several dead bodies in this room, as well as this kind of hidden upstairs room that housed this like demonic altar. There were also these huge like glass cylinders, 5-6 feet tall, some like as tall as you guys were, with this weird sickly like yellowy green liquid in them. It was kind of unsettling. After some investigation, we even had some talks with Day's patron Kazmine on some direction. You, through some quick thinking from you, Emmett, and your Zone of Truth spell, realized there was someone else in this chamber. Through Zone of Truth, you called out, and after a cloud of darkness, this figure appeared, namely a woman who came to reveal herself as Lysandra. She basically kind of toyed with you all for a little bit, asked you a couple questions about what you were doing down here and what was going on, mentioned that she was in fact the one who killed everyone else in this room, and then urged you to leave quite quickly after holding Seven at knife point. Bit of a stand, like guys left, and she disappeared. You found your way back to the streets, namely to set up and prepare. Go ahead.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Was she hot?
Yeah, she was. She's elven. She was.
Well, yeah, the white hair. I remember all that. The cool armor.
Yeah,
was she hot?
Had this. Oh yeah, absolutely
damn.
hot. She's a hottie.
Missed opportunity to flirt with an NPC. All right, keep going. Sorry.
It's all right. You still kind of did. You asked her what kind of moisturizer she used.
You tried.
I would have asked that of anyone. I thought she was an older hag elven lady.
No.
Actually.
White hair is
Oh,
more
wait.
just like.
She wasn't an older hag? I was so into her because I thought she was...
She was an old hag. That's why you were into her.
Yeah.
Emmett has a MILF thing going on. I don't know if you knew that backstory.
Maybe.
E-Gil
So you guys
Fonley.
found your way back to the streets, talked around, found a location where this broadcast was happening of this decree from the Duke himself. And through kind of, murmurs in the crowds and word on the street, you could see that there were kind of definite sides to this argument of people in support of the Duke and his mantle of authority, where he's kind of absolute and whatever he says goes. Other people who are he's a younger Duke, he doesn't know what he's doing, how does he know what's good for us, yada yada yada. This decree happens, and you notice at this presentation after he kind of addressed everybody, he hit on a couple main points, namely one of them being a motion to dissolve the Free Leagues, and saying how it was up to his guard and the people who run the city to kind of take charge of that and not leave it up to the leagues, and how you guys haven't been not you specifically, but just the leagues at large, more of a detriment to the city than they were. Their time has come and gone, and they're kind of a thing of tradition and something old in the past, and how it's time for a new era. And same thing. You saw both sides of the fence on this, where there were people who were for it and against it as well. You decided to send your owl, our beautiful magic owl boy, to go check out where this was actually happening while we staged this. And after talking with him, found that a number of things, that there were members of the deck, namely Declan and his crew, were like there near the White Palace where this was happening, and definitely up to some shady stuff. There was even kind of this notion that the Duke himself seemed, Emmett picked up on some possible, I guess, a sway of a decision, perhaps. He noticed very odd similarities between kind of the maliciousness that the Duke had in saying that he was going to, their main focus was dealing with this storm and this known cult activity, and how he was going to root it out and get rid of it. But he had that same kind of somewhat sinister look that you saw on some of the cultists who were like at this ritual when you guys saved Asbjorn. You noticed some very specific and concerning similarities there. You pushed forward and headed to the archives to get some information and talk to Calcareous in particular about all of your findings with dealings with the deck, all the stuff that's happened since the beginning of your adventure with the cultists. You met, I guess, one of the archivists at the archives, a tiny gnome named Edward, who shared some information with you, eventually sent you to meet with Calcareous, and after kind of you showed him the occult book you had recovered, filled him in on all these details about this ritual, the storm, the portal. He gave you word that he knew of the history of this cult and how they've been around for a very long time. Tried in the past to do this, unsuccessful, and how they seem to kind of pop up with, new fanatics and recruits that try to forward their goals. So he sort of knows what we're dealing with, but wants more specific information to kind of pinpoint who's pulling the strings here, which you guys gave him. He's now got the book. You mentioned this orb, to which he looks like identified and performed some stuff with, and eventually actually questioned you all to make sure you were prepared and ready. And they gave you the go-ahead to kind of speak this command word and release whatever was found in this orb. Upon doing so, a massive, about 8 foot tall minotaur with this huge great axe just manifested and was bound by this runic circle that Calcareous had already prepared. You even saw it kind of thrashing against it, arcing across it with its great axe, sending sparks flying everywhere. And it just kind of stands in front of you. Calcareous focused on holding it in place, and you all kind of at the ready in this tower. So what are you all doing? You see this minotaur just come forth, kind of look around for a bit, and then go to break out of this prison. And it's locked in. You can see Calcareous just standing there with one hand up, gazing forward at this thing, and he kind of looks to the three of you. What's your initial reaction as this thing manifests?
I run to the side of the room.
Okay. The room isn't exactly super huge. You remember when this thing kind of came to be? It, like, the table was broken. It's held in place. Like it has no room to move. There's literally like this, closed ring of these like floating illuminated runes around this thing. Calcareous is standing there with his arm outstretched. And you instinctively kind of back up and just see this thing. It's just turning and heavily breathing, kind of every now and then turning and looking. Scans, you can see it's just got these like burning coals of eyes glaring at you all, turning back, and you see him just kind of staring down Calcareous.
Can anyone talk to it?
We can certainly try. that was my reasoning for this. I imagine we should get information from this beast.
It can
Calcarius, do you
talk?
speak Infernal?
I do not. I have studied the language and I can recognize it, but I have other ways. Not so certain this thing speaks Infernal in the first place, but I have ways around that. You see him kind of raise his other hand up. His eyes flare with a quick burst of this white light, and you all can kind of feel a wave of energy as that flash happens, kind of wash over you all as well. And you feel similarities to how when you message back and forth to each other, Calcarius looks around at you all again, and you all hear him speak in your mind. He just says,
Oh.
I believe this will do just fine. You see his mouth isn't moving, but you can hear him in your thoughts.
Testing, I think.
Everyone now has a telepathic bond and can speak freely through your mind.
Beast, who do you serve?
You see this minotaur kind of like spin around and like look around, and then it looks to you. You see it bring like both of its fists up and go to like bash on the edge of this containment that it has. Seeing it like hit basically against nothing, but you can see cracks of energy, almost like a pane of glass would, stopping the blow. It just you know,
Sorry.
like it goes at you and stops for a moment. Someone far beyond you. It turns, looks around again. Why have you brought me here?
You know.
Can I ask him? Hey, Mr. Minotaur, that outfit. Can you wear underwear with that outfit, or is it kind of a commando situation underneath that that skirt thing
Listen.
you got going on?
You see him tighten his grip on the axe. Release me and find out, small one.
Oh,
No.
I try to peek under. You
No,
see me try to...
no, 7, no.
All right.
There's just bits of broken table, and this thing is huge. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. It is clad in like some kind of like tight leather armor, like on its, around. It's got a belt with like bones and all kinds of stuff hanging from it. You can actually see there's like a small kind of rope sack, literally holding like 8 to
Someone
10
cackles in the
skulls.
background.
Damn.
What is your purpose once you are summoned?
To make way for the others.
The others, like you?
Sure. Like me.
Gosh.
That's not great.
And what would more than one of you be doing on this world?
Claiming it.
Claiming it. For whom? Yourself?
You see Calcarius kind of turn his hand and close a fist, and you can see the Minotaur kind of like react to it as he's doing it, and it struggles and it turns in place and like faces Calcarius, and he just, again, I'll mentally, but you hear him, you just say, "Whom do you serve? Who is your master?"
Yeah, I poke Emmett in the ribs and say, you know what? I once paid for a peep show like this in a back alley inn. I think I know what's going on. I think I know exactly what's happening here.
You can hear the Minotaur like struggle. It says, "You will see him soon enough." And then you see Calcarius kind of lean into it again, and he says, "Speak his name." And there's a delay. And a natural 1. Great. Good for the Minotaur. You see him kind of like go slack a moment. Like you're now realizing he's like picked up a couple inches off the ground, and it's like almost as if he's being, like crushed, so to speak. You see him kind of like go slightly like limp on one side as and you can like he's straining, and it's not great. And you see him struggle for a moment. He just Haroon comes for you. And you see Calcarius give a snap of his fingers, and you hear this faint popping sound, and this Minotaur just kind of like collapses in and vanishes. He drops his hand for a moment, and the circles dissipate. He blinks for a moment, and his eyes flash again, and you can see him. He just goes and sits down in his chair again, kind of like grabs a few papers from the table that is like split.
Sweet Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus.
What did you do with him?
I returned him to his home, I suppose, and I imagine he's running with his tail between his legs to tell his master.
Are you familiar with who this Haroon is?
Yeah, what does that name mean to you?
Have you heard this before?
Have I ever heard that name before?
One question at a time.
We're all so excited.
No, you've never heard that name. If I mention, I'll give you a heads up. But no, you do not. That name does not ring any bells for any of you. And Calcareous will continue. So, for now, not much. It's not a name I've heard before. However, when dealing with fiends, devils, demons, one thing that we can always hold as power over them is their true name. At the very least, we have that now.
I look at the great wizard and I say, "Harum, are you feeling after that?"
Something I imagine you should take seriously.
I am taking this very seriously.
He makes
I have
jokes
no idea
because
what's
he's
happening.
terrified. I've learned this
I'm
about
my
him.
quite
concern.
scared.
Well, this leaves us with a decision, I suppose. You've given me very valuable information. I imagine we can do a lot of work here at the archives with your findings, and how with his name we can track down exactly what this cult, what this fiend's goals are, and why he's seeking to even enter our plane.
Would it be safe if you found something to reach out to us? We would like to know more and help in any way we can.
I have ways. I can contact you if need be, and if you find anything, I suppose we can make do with something. You see him kind of reach his hand into his robe, and he pulls out like a pendant, like an amulet with just a small kind of golden circle. It almost looks like a bullseye or something would be. There's just several smaller like golden rings as you get towards the center until it's just a central point, but they're not attached by anything. They're kind of like free hanging. He pulls it out and kind of holds it forward. Says, "Feel free to take this if you find yourselves in trouble and need to. Simply join hands and activate this. It will bring you back to this tower."
Oh,
Wait, what?
Does have some limited uses, so do be careful. Something like that falling into the wrong hands would be
What?
dangerous, clearly. But if need be, you find something and need to bring back that information, speak with Edward or any of the archivists here, myself if I'm available, and we will deal with it accordingly.
And I'm sorry, how does this work? We link hands around it?
Just someone needs to be wearing it. Any of you, it's no matter. You simply activate the pendant, and anyone you're joined with will come with you.
Day?
I will wear this pendant.
It seems right up your alley.
Yeah.
I will wear this pendant.
He'll hand it over to you.
Do you know Garrus? Do you know his free league?
I do. Garrus has spoken with me, and though he's no longer on the council, he's still one of my most trusted advisors and old friends.
That's good to know. We're staying at his free league if you need to get word to us.
I've now at least met with you all. If I need to get word with you, I will.
Oh.
And what would you three do? I'll be returning information to the council as well as the members of the Tempered Will, and we'll be doing what we can to track down this cult, their motives, activity. Something I feel we can deal with. You've already dealt quite a blow. If you've recovered this, and clearly if they're sending things like what we just saw after you to deal with you, they see you as a threat, and if anything, that's good for us.
Oh, hey, Emmett. Do you think this guy would know about that bounty on my head or
It's worth an ask.
whatever? Hey,
In regards to
Master
your
Archivist.
dealings with the deck,
Master Archivist.
Hmm.
Yes. Is there anything you could do to help me with this situation? I'd be in your debt.
best advice I can give you is maybe worth seeking out. We know of the deck, though they've always moved in darkness. That's their way. Clearly, they also see you as a threat if you've been marked.
If you were in our position, what would you do?
Cannot say. Perspective is a valuable thing. You probably know more about your circumstances than I claim to, and my wisdom would be used poorly. If you know who you deal with and what is at hand, perhaps it's something else you should pursue. They clearly see you as a priority. Maybe you meet that. At the very least, if the deck is on you, it may be something you need to deal with sooner rather than later.
Calcarius,
Good to know.
can I ask you something?
Of course.
A little off topic. Someone died recently in the city. An Agatha Whalen.
Hmm.
The reports that it was her daughter that died. I don't understand. Why is Agatha dead, if you know?
I knew of her passing and not necessarily why she died, but I've heard no rumors of false reports, not within this city anyways. Where did you hear this information?
In a far-off town, I was told that it was... it doesn't matter.
Word has a way of twisting the farther it travels. Could be rumors or other intent.
Thank you for your time.
Information is valuable, gentlemen. I've made it my life's dedication on collecting and cataloging it. You have brought quite wealth to our situation at hand for all of us within Cadwallon. We will deal with this cult as best we can and find out more. If I come across anything, you will more than likely be the first I involve. You know more than most within the city, and perhaps it's best if we keep it that way. We are also trying to maintain the fragile balance of order within these walls, and a city under stress and panic is not something we need to add to our situation.
If you lead an expedition to the portal, if it's still there in the swamp, will you let us know? I think we'd like to be a part.
We will send out
Agreed.
some, we will scout ahead first
Yeah,
and
we've
find out
gotta-
what we're dealing with, but if it's something that needs to be dealt with, we will definitely lend word to you so that we can have your aid.
Yeah. We have experience with some of the doings outside in the bog. One last thing, Master Archivist. Should I not die? Should the deck not kill me? I'd like to study, if possible, here at the archives.
That can
If
be arranged.
if you'll
Always
have
time to learn. Consider it a favor for what you've already done, and who knows? Who knows what you'll discover within these walls?
I'm gonna bow and thank him for his time, Master Archivist.
Who's a good... is there anyone particular who's good at explaining some history? I have some questions that I find maybe beneath your time specifically, but I'd like to learn more about...
You're welcome to spend time here. We are always open. Someone will typically be in attendance. Edward usually spends a lot of his time in the lower levels organizing things. He's always been one keen to learn. I imagine he'd be happy to assist you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck.
We'll take that.
He just kind of stands and motions his hand like behind you all, and you turn, and there's just this door in the wall that you didn't really see before.
I gotta shake his hand.
Yeah, he does. He comes over. And he gives you a good firm handshake.
Yeah. I want to shake his hand as well, and then I'm going to say, "Hey, thank you for your time." And I'm going to put I'm going to take a gold coin out of my purse and just put on the table as a thank you. Just say, "Hey, buddy, thank you for your help."
He kind of chuckled. He says, "You mean well. I hope we will all be seeing each other again soon."
Likewise.
Comes over to you, Day. Also gives you a firm handshake. Guard that pendant.
I will.
And in the best way possible. I hope we don't have need to use it, but just in case.
Thank you, Calculus.
You see him kind of turn across the room, and he like pushes past that blue curtain in the back, just disappears kind of into darkness. And you see as the curtain falls back, you actually see it kind of like fall and like come undone and dissipate and like fall into the ground. And there's just a stone wall there.
Of course.
This guy's got style.
This guy's mad
This guy's
style.
got style.
Mad style.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah, that guy was even cooler than I thought.
Yes, he was.
All right. Well,
Okay.
let's head back to the archives, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't we in it? Isn't the tower part of the archives? No.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. You kind of got you got ported here, and you're just it was just like hallway to this room. It's crazy and it's magic stuff. But there is a door behind you.
Walk it through the door.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's get back to the.
Wait, are we leaving? Do we have the orb, or did he take it?
The orb is there still. I mean, if you guys want to recover it, that's fine.
We're leaving. I would assume
maybe it's
I'll
best
take this orb as well.
He handled that.
Are you sure, Day?
Definitely.
I mean, what if he can learn more stuff about it?
He left
Yeah,
it
maybe.
here. I mean,
Maybe
if
it's safe
Cosmin
it's
can
here?
use it,
If
maybe we.
can you ask Casmin?
Cosmin,
Yeah,
are
ask
you
Cass.
here? Are you here?
Yeah.
There's no
Hey,
response.
Cass, if you want it, I don't know, shake once for yes, twice for no.
Sweet.
Maybe knock
sweet cheeks.
knock a book off a shelf or something.
There's no response from Casmin, but yeah, do as you wish before you leave.
Day, if you feel more comfortable taking it, I understand, but
I'd take it and pocket it.
Okay. And you all step through the door.
yeah.
It opens up just into another long hallway, bookshelves and stuff everywhere. Eventually, like going down the hallway, you do see there's that big central chamber with like the bookshelves and stuff flying all around. You're basically back on the main like lobby floor that you guys saw Edward. You're just like back, kind of on the ground level. It seems. You still see these like constructs, walking around carrying stuff and pushing carts. This place is just busy, but you don't see anyone in particular. But there's the door with the steps outside. Like you can just leave if you wish to. You can look around. It's up to you.
The archives.
The archives.
Beautiful.
So much knowledge in here.
I
7.
know.
You can read?
Right? I'm just as surprised as you.
Did you mean what you said in there about wanting to learn more?
Yeah. I don't know the ways. After spending these past however long, it feels like we've been together for years now. I don't know how long it's actually been.
It's been a couple weeks since like you literally first met each other. 2-3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah. Listen, man, the type of magics that you two deal in, it's so beyond me. Sometimes I feel like I'm less than helpful, if not just a downright hindrance. I'd like to learn. I started learning with this, and I pull out my,
The little red book from
yeah, Children's Guide to Magic. And this has been helping, but I'm gonna need some real tutelage in order for me to really. Do you have any help to you guys. I can only backflip my way out of so many situations.
I guess that's true.
You guys kind of hear this just like of like a stack of books hitting the floor. You kind of turn and look, and Edward is standing there.
Hey.
Kind of adjusts his glasses for a moment. He's like, "Well,
Hello. Hi, Ed.
how'd the meeting go?"
Hey.
Pretty
Well,
pretty good.
splendid.
We're alive,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I see that. He's kind of motioning to the book you had out, 7.
Oh, yeah, sure. I here you go, Ed.
He takes it and kind of smiles and like turns it over, opens the cover and flips through for a bit, gives a small chuckle, and it's like, been some time. How is he? Kind of closes and hands it back to you.
You haven't
I
seen him
don't-
in a while?
Forgive me, I overheard what you were all speaking about. You're in the right place if you're looking to learn, and that's a great
Yeah.
start. I'm the one who taught Leon. That's his book.
I never had the. I was
this is
never
the
given
little
a chance.
red book. I'm assuming.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I picked
Just
this
like
up
this
at
little red leather-bound book.
I picked this up at Orson's.
Who's Leon?
Leon's the owner of the book.
Leon's he's this young elven boy who I encountered on some of my travels, and he was just starting out with his arcane training, so to speak. And I taught him a few things. He taught me a few things, but I haven't seen him in about a year.
By way of that, you've taught me a few things, and I
suppose
snap.
so.
I snap and bring sweet
Sweet
Alley
Alley.
boy.
He kind of says, "Well, that's a handy one to have." He reaches up and snaps, and you can see a big brown barn. Now he's tiny because he's a gnome, but this thing is like standing like up above his head.
Oh,
Big brown barn owl. He kind of like sinks down. There's this owl on it, and he reaches up and is just kind of like scratching on it. He's like, this is Zook.
mine is much smaller.
His has a name, at the very least.
Allie doesn't have a name.
We've been through a lot, so I
just
figured.
how did he get his name? I've been curious about it, about how this process works.
I just picked one. I just went with Zook, and he seems to like it.
It's that.
I don't want.
Is that easy?
Oh,
It's
I don't
that
wanna-
simple.
I don't
Seven.
want
The
to
way
give
you
Allie a
talk
name
about.
that he might not like.
Well, I guess you won't know unless you try a few out.
Okay.
Zook kind of like
Did you have to go through some sort of
flies off, and you see him just flying around through all the like flying
some
bugs
sort
and
of
stuff.
arc, some sort of like avian trajectory,
bird.
like a bird arc of some sort
Yeah,
to
yeah.
acquire this
We'll call
Zook
it
name.
an avian parabola of some
Yeah,
kind.
some sort of.
I suppose he's been on a bit of a, I guess you could say a quest of his own. He's been invaluable. One of my most trusted companions. I've known him for a long time. He's helped me through a lot.
Ed, can I ask you a question real quick?
Of course.
If you don't mind. You seem so knowledgeable in so many things, and I don't understand how anyone could learn so much. It seems fascinating to me. How much do you know of the gods of the gods of old specifically?
Well, if you're referring to the older gods, it's I've taken some interest in religious studies. I myself follow Ayun to some capacity. She's also helped me with much of learning. She is the mother of all knowledge, as it were.
I pull out my little necklace and the little Ayun symbol that's on there, and I'm just like, I understand. She seems amazing.
That's the one. He kind of pulls his hand up with the like clockwork stuff on it and points to it, and you can see a very similar symbol like meshed in and melded like into it's on the back of his hand, but it's in that framework. He's like, she's been with me for quite some time as well.
Does she know anything about Dear Agosta?
Her, I can't speak for.
What about
but
you?
I've come across the Sunsmith a time or two. He's, I suppose, one of the forgotten gods, as it were. Not too many practice his ways. Legend is he was originally the founding father, I suppose, of all of the aspects of the anvil. Each aspect and their respective deities being facets of Diracosta himself.
Do you have any books on his history? I would love to check them out.
See what
if
we
I can
find. You see him kind of motion over, and one of these constructs comes over, and he's like, let us know what we can find on Diracosta, if you don't mind. And he kind of motions forward to like the center room. This little like golem just kind of nods and just walks off. And you see him literally like just kind of disappear around the corner. We'll see what we can find. There's a lot to check through. I'll look for myself as well, and anything we find, we'll be happy to send your way.
Just send word to me at Garrus's Free League. I'm not sure you know who that is.
We may have more information on the various aspects. I don't know what, if anything, we will have on record. There's not much that dates back quite as far as he does, but we'll let you know.
Thank you, Ed.
And Edward.
Yes.
Is there anything that you know of the Feywild and the beings that inhabit the Feywild?
The Feywild is a wondrous, beautiful, and dangerous place. I may have something around here. I've never been, nor encountered anyone who has, but I've heard some terrifying things, if I'm being honest. We'll see what we can find. I'll begin a search as well. Are you just looking for general knowledge of the plane itself, or inhabitants? Anything particular?
Casmine of the Summer's Court.
Sounds important.
Any history on him that the world has come in contact with, so that I may see his role that he has played?
Again, I don't know how much record we're going to have on anyone surviving anything in the Feywilds to come back and tell us about it. Not that any who go there are doomed to die, but my base understanding is, at the very least, time is different there. And, well, even if you manage to find your way back, who knows when you actually come back. Whatever we can find, I'll be happy to share with you, though, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ed, how long have you been working here?
I've been at the archives some 10, 12 years now.
Wow.
Have you had much dealings with the aspects?
Not much. I've encountered a few pieces, some works of the various artificers. They can make some truly wondrous things. Very skilled craftsmen, but personal dealings, not so much.
Just curious.
Hey, Ed.
Yes?
Thank you. I'd like to thank you for if you hadn't have taught Leon, I wouldn't get this book. And I wouldn't know the little things that I do about magic. So thank you.
Fate is funny sometimes. I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for Leon. But that's a story for some other time.
The Master Archivist said I can study here.
Of course.
If I don't die. The deck is looking to kill me, and I gotta figure that out. But if I live, he said I could.
I'll be here if you do. Staying alive is probably rather important, so I'd say you've already got a good head on your shoulders, and if you've already learned, about your friend here through that book, I'm sure there's plenty I could teach you. Who knows?
Are there more books? Did Leon write more?
No. Not since I've last seen him anyways. Not that I know of. Perhaps he could. I don't know how advanced his studies have gotten. But we have access to all kinds of arcane teachings here within the archives and the various colleges. One namely that Calcaris himself holds. So if he's already giving you a bit of a nod of favor, that can only mean good things. I will caution you, though, studying the arcane is something that takes time, discipline, and, well, money. It's a costly endeavor. You must fully invest yourself into it if you truly wish to master it. But feel like you have that potential. So, who knows?
I'm ready. I hope.
Only time will tell. I have much I need to get back to, but at the very least, we'll be looking into Casmine and the Sunsmith Diragosta for each of you.
Thank you, Ed.
We'll either hold something here, or perhaps we can send word. We'll send something to your league if I find it.
Thank
It
you.
was nice meeting you all. He kind
a
of
pleasure.
nods and waves and pushes between you all, and you see him disappear around a bookshelf somewhere.
I start walking outside.
I follow.
Okay. You guys make your way back out into the streets. It's about, early afternoon.
Yeah.
The Creed has happened. You've been in here talking and researching some stuff. You can see the storm still kind of looming. Again, not really building in intensity anymore, just sort of maintained, but seems like it is dissipating to some degree. You've learned some extra information about the cults and everything. And the day is yours. What do you guys want to do?
It has been a hell of a week.
Gentlemen, why was the hand a part of the Duke's announcement today?
I don't know.
The deck?
Something about that connection is upsetting me. It's upsetting me greatly.
The deck in general is something that's worth being upset. 7. I mean, I don't even know how to start with this overall
We
for
gotta
the
keep
deck.
it safe. They're
This
after
is a
you,
bad.
man.
This is a terrible place to talk about this, is it not? Even just standing out here, I feel like the cultists are kind of in, I don't know, able hands at the very least. Whatever Calcarius did to that big thing, it seems they're much more capable than we are.
I think at this point it's safe to assume that everybody is a cultist, and we have to stick together and speak only when we're alone, because
Or they're a part of the deck.
the hand.
Yes.
Yeah, it was one or the other.
I don't know what
or
the hand is.
No,
The deck.
gray
I don't know
area.
what the
They're
hand is.
either in the deck or the
Still
or
the
cult.
deck.
We
For
just gotta
sure.
be safe.
I like the hand.
You're trying to get a hand. I know what you're trying to. You're gonna make a joke, 7, about a job that you did for the hand. I see it coming. See what I did there?
A hand job?
Yes, coming
Ooh.
for a hand job.
Yep.
Yes, that was.
Yeah.
I tried really hard.
I hope someone clipped that. That's a sound effect.
Oh no.
That's a sound effect.
We need to, I don't know about you, but it feels the safest place is literally next to one of our beds, like just huddled in a room. It seems
Yeah.
that hasn't.
Shall we go there and talk?
Yes,
Let's see.
I think so.
Let's see. All right, let's go.
Very
let's go.
paranoid.
Okay. You guys
Samesies.
take some time heading back to your guild hall.
Do I see Jet on the way back at all? Because I know it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm just
keep,
generally keeping an eye out for the 2 kids, Yasha,
course.
whatever her name
Of
is,
course.
Yashel.
That's not it.
Yashel,
There you go.
yeah, Jerry,
Shell.
Yo.
If this is like a general
Gary?
eye out and it's just factored into your passive, cool.
It is.
Are you like trying? I figured. So if they're easy enough to spot and they're just around, I will give you that. That's fair. On the walk back, you do not see anyone like that. Just normal. It's early afternoon. It's busy with just the people of the city. You get back to your league hall, and upon entering, sitting at the table is Jet. He's inside as well as some other people, but Jet is just kind of sitting there, and you see him get up and come over to you guys. It's like,
Oh,
Well,
such Jet. Much
I had a
Jet.
feeling you all would be here. I guess I
do a flip
found some stuff.
When I
out.
see Jet.
Go for it. Go for it. Make
You
an
gonna
acrobatics.
roll for it?
Do it every time.
God damn it. Every time? One of these days. 12 plus... fuck, how do I not know
5.
that number by heart?
I don't know.
You guys know it? You guys know it.
This is why I make you roll every
It's
time, because
fine.
you don't know your modifier.
I don't know it.
It's a 5.
Let's see. Acrobatics is 5. Fuck it.
It's a 5.
Fucking Victor knows better than I do, dude.
A 17.
It's a 5. Yeah, 17.
Your signature greetings. Is,
Whoa!
hey, what's up, Jet? Backflip. He just kind of nice.
No, he's not gonna backflip me back. All right.
Well,
All right, I give him mage hand gun, finger guns.
Obkrin, around for us, and I sit next at the table.
Okay. Jet kind of like looks over, like to where Opkrin's like office and stuff. As you can see the door shut, and he's like, I was speaking to him earlier this morning, trying to track down where you guys were. He said he had some stuff to go take care of with the captain in regards to the council.
It was worth a try. I like to try and make him give me beers. It's like a thing that I'm gonna do from now on.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's kind of rude. Opkrin's nice. You should be nice. It works way better.
You're nice to Obkrin.
I don't doubt it. Just
I'm nice.
I use mage hand to tussle Obkrin's hair a little bit.
look.
He's
You wanted
not
me
there.
to. You wanted me to track down Yashel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I guess good news, bad news is I found that she was heading out with some other Jagarans. They were basically going to do kind of a supply run, but they've been missing for the past, no one saw them last night. Folks I spoke with, that's unusual.
What about the kids?
Haven't seen John or Lem either. And with kind of what you guys told me, you can see why that's a concern.
A little bit.
Yeah. I have at least their last known location or where she was heading. There's some cliffs and this forest just outside the city. It's not too far. We can probably get there in just a couple hours. They were just supposed to be making some kind of pickup. It's pretty routine. I've been to the area before. There's this old stable and like a small kind of cottage. It's been abandoned for some time. I'd like to think not, but I mean, with everything that's going on, that thing in the sky, with
We're living in dangerous times.
It's very true.
Right.
I don't know what Jet's short for. Jetholomew.
it's,
We're living in dangerous times.
I think it's
really
Jethri.
short for anything.
I think it's Jethri.
Jethri,
You guys-
obviously. Or maybe
You guys aren't
Jethru.
really that nice.
Jet. You.
Jeffagale.
She's disappeared altogether. The whole party has, or just.
Well, she went to go meet some others to kind of come back with some supplies, and no one's seen her or the boys in a couple days.
And this is a routine thing.
The supplies, yeah, that's not what's weird. Just the fact that no one's heard from them is a little odd. Not something to guess be too paranoid about. It's not like we check in every day. There's a lot of us, and we move around a lot, so it's not unusual. I might only hear from them once a week, and that wouldn't set off any red flags. But
So
considering
why does this?
the state of things, well, after you running into me and telling me what you discovered, after hearing what's going on with this cult and everything that the Duke is talking about, and then you guys bring up possible dealings with the deck, something I'm looking into too. You said you found this book with my name in it.
Yeah.
Maybe they know a lot more than we don't, and at the very least, they'll get to the people that we talk to or that they know we've dealt with to get to us. I wouldn't put it past them.
These are the two biggest priorities on my list. I don't know about you guys.
At the very least, I can show you where this little cottage is, and we can maybe get some more clues, some answers. Who knows?
When would you like
Sure.
to head out?
I'm ready to go now.
Oh,
And if I'm being honest, Yashel's smart. She's careful about who she keeps company with, so I don't think this is just an oversight on her part. But if it's got something to do with the deck or this cult, I have a feeling that may not matter. If I'm being honest, I'm more concerned about boys. They can't really do much. They're just kids.
I'll be honest. I don't have time to waste. I don't know if going out and looking for these guys is the best choice of action for me.
The mark, Jet. I know we showed you earlier, but we're worried about his life.
Well, I asked about that too, and after, I don't know, I guess I must have just forgotten when you first asked me. There was a lot going on. Told you I'm looking for my brother,
Yes.
and after talking with one of my friends, we remember the last time we saw him, he had a Mark II.
Did he disappear
So,
after that?
I haven't seen him since. So you're probably right to be concerned. Somebody's after you, and they've got a reason for it. You probably know that better than I do.
Well, I mean, can you possibly think of a lead on how we're supposed to track down the deck in the first place? I mean, I cannot imagine that is something easy to do. Is anyone listening to us right now?
It's literally, there's maybe like some kitchen staff and a couple people around, but like doesn't seem like they are. I mean, Jed is like taking you off to the side. You guys are having your own little talk, like at a table. You're in the open. You're in your guild hall for one, but he's he's not just yelling this out. This is kind of a hushed conversation.
I guess I'm very paranoid. I didn't
It's
even
all good.
realize.
Cool. I'm doing my job as a DM. Everything terrifies you. It's perfect.
Yes, it fucking does.
Great.
You guys literally had the. All right. Everyone is either a cultist or in the deck, for sure.
Everyone's
so I'm doing my job.
You're doing
right,
great.
Exactly.
Everyone's a Cylon.
Perfect.
Look, at the very least, I figure if I've got a location, if you guys are trying to track down answers from the deck, we're going to need, well, one of the deck members.
That's true. Do you think that they may be a part of this thing with Yashel?
Maybe. She's helped me get out of all kinds of stuff in the past, and I've had to do my own fair share of running and hiding from them, so...
The last time we dealt with the deck, well, the only people alive who I know worked with the deck that we've interacted with personally is a demigod who took my finger the second
I wouldn't start there.
The person number two is the
person number two, technically, because you've only got
the person number nub.
yeah.
Is the
we learned that Declan is a noble of some sort, didn't we?
Declan is a noble, but good luck trying to get him.
As your DM, yes, you did.
Yeah. Last week, we talked to Cal Cares about all this stuff.
Correct.
Do you think it's worth? Look, I mean, Seven, I want to deal with this as much as you do. I cannot imagine that we can go against someone as, I don't know, powerful as him right now.
Well, if you've got a name and people who are after you, I suggest, I don't know, set up a meeting.
Hang on.
Maybe you turn this.
Here's what we know. Declan.
Turn this how?
He's a noble, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be walking into. It's not going to be like walking into Orson's and buying a tub of butter.
Look, maybe it's some kind of deception. Maybe you have a sudden change of heart, and what you said you used to be in the deck, right? Maybe you join them.
Hey,
for the time being.
You know what? Hey,
what better way to get information than on the inside, right?
Hey, what if we do the old Wookiee prisoner routine? One of you guys brings me to Declan.
The Great Tales. I've heard of this play. I've heard of this from the Wars of the Sky. Sky Wars, I think, is what it was called.
You deliver me to Declan as a prisoner.
Oh man, I'm creating a bard who wrote Sky Wars. Just you guys fucking wait.
Sky Wars, dude. Yes, please.
His name is Hark Mammal.
From Rain of Fire with the play going on.
Jesus.
Keep one eye on the sky.
Yes,
all right, I'm sorry.
The legendary Bard Lucas.
Yeah, Bard Lucas. His
Giorgio Lucas.
Well, wait. Here's the thing: we can't turn you into the deck. They're going to just kill you.
We do. You sure there's no way we could finagle that?
Do you want me to point this thing out again on you and what we've learned about it? If you go over to their side again, I don't actually think that's a good idea. I think that's a terrible idea. But
if you need to fall back on that, at the very least, we just need information. Maybe you can at least set a trap. Maybe not turn yourself in. I'm kind of with Emmett on this one. That's kind of stupid. But
does it seem safer
set a trap? Maybe it's maybe you act like you're turning yourself in. They clearly, if they've put a hit out on you, someone's coming after you, right? Well, if we know that, why don't we use that to our advantage? Make it look like you're primed for an ambush, or turning yourself in where they can capture you, and we turn it on them, capturing one of them and get some answers. At the very least, the deck works in information and blackmail, right?
We did this once before at the Port of the Kraken. Do you remember when there was that commotion there a little while ago where
work wonderfully?
Yeah,
Jet, I heard about that. That was you guys. You're the bandits.
Well, I wouldn't call us bandits, but
we weren't bandits.
we were trying to take down.
Dabbled a little bit.
That's true. A little.
There, but,
Jet, I want to make sure of something clear, though.
Sure.
I know you want your brother, or revenge, or answers. I don't want that to cloud your judgment, because I think we both know how powerful the deck actually is. Do you have other people who may be on our side in this? If we set up some sort of ambush? I cannot imagine the four of us are good enough.
You've dealt with the deck and survived, and so have I. I think you need to trust yourself a little more. The deck is organized. They've got that in their favor, but if anything, they've got numbers. They'll throw lackeys at us, but we can handle that. That's actually what we're looking for. We can get a hold of someone.
Yeah.
We saw...
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start our way from the bottom and work our way to the top. One slit throat at a time. Am I right, guys? It's murdering time, right? No, too much.
I think we have to be careful.
You can't really get information out of anyone who's got a slit throat, but
trail of blood behind us.
You're right. You're right. I'm a little overzealous. I'm going to dial it back a little bit,
actually,
boys.
Jed, I'm going to take back what I said about you, and I'm going to flip it on 7-7. Now you seem like the one who's
all right.
a little...
You're right. I'm
you
at
brought
11.
it up.
I'm going to dial it back to a 6.
Yes, or a 7.
Take it back to a 7. That's you got it.
Yeah, take it to a 7. Jed,
Anytime.
I'm nice. Jed, I'm nice.
We're good.
I'm nice,
you're,
right?
You're getting better.
I'm nice.
Look, you brought up the whole thing at the port that happened, right?
Yes.
Perfect example. The deck has a way of kind of covering their tracks. So
we fucked that up.
Even if they took a hit, they're not going to let it get out that a bunch of them were involved in this event and a bunch of deck members were murdered somewhere. They need to hide that as much as we can. If anything, we can use that to our advantage.
All right. So the way I see it, as far as I know, since we can't interact with any demigod, the only other people that I know that know Declan are the nobles. We can search for him as a noble, or the port master, the port of the Kraken. We know for a fact that he's had dealings with the deck. We can try to interrogate that slimy goblin bastard for everything he knows. Unless you've got
like a great place to start. Maybe we squeeze him for some information. He might know something. Again, I don't know if this whole thing with Yashel means that it's even tied up in the deck or the cult or what, but it's the only lead I had to go on, so I figured I'd at least give you the information. I think talking to that goblin at the port is probably as good an idea as any. It's the only lead we've got right now.
Yeah.
Day, you've been pretty quiet. How do you feel?
Oh, hey, Day.
I feel like no matter what our next step is, we're just gonna get into more trouble. So
I put my arm around Day.
Well, the good news is I guess we know what we're getting into then, right?
How
you doing? You okay?
No, we could have fought that Minotaur on our own, and we happen to have a very powerful wizard on our side. And it could have hurt us, and it didn't, thankfully. And now we're stepping into more. What now?
He doesn't get in your face, but like he looks excited. He comes over. He's like, "You saw a Minotaur."
A demon Minotaur, and it's serving a demon lord, and it might come after us. And I think it's trying to not just come after us, but the world itself, and the cult in the hand.
Yeah,
I mean, what do we do? How are we supposed to go anywhere without?
Jed, I think I saw his pubes too. The Minotaur. I don't think he was wearing any underwear
at the moment.
I don't think he's wearing any.
I don't imagine that they could make clothes for Minotaurs.
Jed, I have
no, he was wearing like this skirt kind of thing. Somebody
like a girl Minotaur?
It was like this weird kind of like skirt, armory. That's what it looked like to me. I don't think he was wearing any
have you ever
underwear.
heard of the name Haroon? I wouldn't repeat that very often.
It's Haroon?
No, I haven't.
If you do,
Minotaur?
No, it's not the Minotaur. It's who the Minotaur serves. If you hear that name ever, remember that conversation and tell us. I think that's who's behind the portal.
There's a portal too. Is that what the Minotaur came out of, or
the giant thing in the sky? Is what I'm talking. Sorry, that's what I meant. The storm. The storm.
The storm's a portal.
As far as we know, it's something bad. I'm not really sure.
All right.
It's not great. Not great. overall.
Fair.
bad. It
Okay.
no good.
Right. I'll keep an eye out for any minotaurs or this Haroon guy.
Yeah. Again,
Haru.
I would not repeat that name.
Okay. Why'd you tell it to me?
Because you have to know to hear it. All right. I'm just saying we shouldn't
That's fair.
probably keep saying it over and
I have
over.
a thing for names,
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah,
Just-
I heard that there's
just
a
in
power in
case.
names.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
So
All right.
So what's
well,
what's the plan here? Are
we
we
going
suggested
after
to go
the
to
deck? Is that what we're doing right now?
we're not going
I'm
after the
thinking
deck. We just
we
need to get a
can't
hold of
go
someone
after
where we
the
can get
deck.
some
We-
information.
Yeah, we're gonna get some information. We're gonna squeeze a goblin for information, and then I guess I'm thinking we work
Yeah.
our way up the ladder
That
until we get
sounds
some
awesome.
answers.
We
like
should
what
probably do that.
Let's go do that. Should we
If
flip
I'm
that?
being honest, I got to look for the boys. It's already been too long, and that's where I'm most concerned. I care about those kids way more than I care about you three. Not to be rude, but I guess kind of.
That's fair.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They're helpless.
So I'm going to keep an eye out for them and see what other information I can find. You guys have a map or something? And you do. You do.
yes, we do.
Okay.
I
do.
feel we do.
You do.
Is he,
he'll
is he
he'll
going
take
out
your
to the
map.
dogs?
He'll take your map, and he marks the location. He's like, "This is where you can find that cottage. It's not much. You'll just kind of poke around through some old dirt roads and mess around in the woods for a bit. It could get a little rough. There's some like cliff faces and stuff. Just be careful."
Are you
but-
going? Are you going to go to the cottage? Isn't that the lead on the boys?
Well, no, not necessarily. I just know Yashel went there, but she wouldn't ever take the kids with her leaving the city. That's far too dangerous. Even if the deck and a cult isn't about, it's just not the best place for kids. I imagine they're somewhere in the city. They might be hiding out, or who knows if they still got some of your stuff. I don't know.
Could be
I just
living
gotta,
off of it for all we know. They had a good amount of gold if they still have it.
well,
And
maybe.
it's-
I'd rather
might be
go
in
to
the
a
cottage.
cottage than squeeze a goblin.
Well, cover as much ground as you guys feel you need to, but I'm gonna go find those boys. I imagine I'll come back here once I find out whatever it is I find out. If nothing else, I'll catch you guys on the streets for sure. So,
Thank you, Jet.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jen.
and same. I imagine if you hear about anything with Yashel or John or Lem, let me know. Okay.
Yeah, we will let you know as soon as possible.
Good luck. Kind of pats you all on the shoulder and heads back out onto the street.
Gentlemen, this cottage seems the way to go. Squeezing a goblin sounds like a bad idea. It sounds like we're going to get into more trouble than we started with. I'd rather investigate than force. I'd rather persuade than force. You understand?
I don't have any. Listen, I don't have a choice. I'm marked for death. I've got to do something. I can't just sit around on my hands waiting for some kind of clue to drop, like we're in some fantasy story.
He's not
yeah.
wrong, Day. Day, I don't want to do it either. I want to go to the cottage, but I can't unless we get lucky.
Okay, well, let me do the squeezing then, please.
Oh, fair. That's
Also,
a fair compromise.
I have Zone of Truth.
Good.
Oh, see, I was gonna rough him up.
We may not
Maybe
need
cut him
to
down.
do that.
Let's avoid that as much as we
Okay.
possibly can.
Day,
Okay.
7, I
All
want
right,
you alive.
We'll
A
save the
lot.
maiming. We'll save the
Right.
maiming, unless it's absolutely necessary.
We're squeezing a goblin. Have you
All right.
talked to this
Squeezing for
goblin
juice.
before, 7? Have you encountered him
Yes.
before? What happened?
That little cunt, he fucking he tricked me. He locked me up in a cage. That little bitch. I owe him one.
When did this
yeah.
happen?
What's this?
That time on the deck. That time when we were dealing with the deck at the port of the
Yeah.
Kraken. Well,
I
you
remember
guys
that.
were
The first time,
well, you
the
guys
first
were
time I
keeping
saw
watch.
you disguise yourself.
That little bastard. He managed to trap me in his chambers at the port and keep me there as prisoner, waiting for the deck to come have at me.
How do you know it was the deck?
The owl.
Mm,
I warged into the owl.
Owly.
And, I know the deck when I see him. He led them right to me. I was able to trick my way out of it.
That is
barely.
I was really hoping I could poke holes in this and find that you have no evidence, but I don't think I can. Let's go squeeze a goblin then. Should we wait for nightfall?
A goblin. Can we wait?
How do you feel? I don't know, Seven. You tell me.
Can we do it? Can we do it stealth? Can we do it stealth? Maybe.
I don't think that
even if you stealth there, you're going to a port, and it's like 2 in the afternoon. That could be dangerous, or B, I mean, you could have the safety of you're going to like a public place. He also you can't just go beating him up and questioning him without raising an eyebrow, but you probably can't just call in deck members to come and deal with you when there's a whole bunch of people there either.
I'm extremely stealthy, so I'm not really worried about me.
All right, you're right. If this was at night, I'd say we'd sneak in and then rough them up. But since time is of the essence, I would say during the day we just handle it in a more gentlemanly manner with maybe your magics. And this way we could deal with it discreetly rather than me kicking in the door, beating the shit out of him, and asking for questions in the middle of the day. That was my go-to.
If that's actually true, and if it yields nothing, we go to the cottage as soon as possible.
Fair.
Day?
I suggest that you disguise yourself so he doesn't recognize you again. I think it's a good call.
Do we have any other leads on the deck? Okay, I'll take that as a no.
Let's see. I'm thinking. Let's see. Demi got to. Yeah. Is anybody else that we know directly who we can talk to dealt with?
I don't think so.
The deck.
I think we're heading in on this alone, boys.
All right.
I'm ready.
Goblin squeezing time.
I mean, do you? Oh man. Yeah. All right.
Let's go ask the stuff.
Okay.
Daddy.
Can we wait 30 minutes?
Yeah.
To prepare, if you need to prepare anything.
You guys have already been you had this conversation with Jet. You're having this discussion now. You've already been taking it easy at your guild hall. If you're trying to squeeze in a short rest, go for it.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
We'll say you've been here for an hour. Your rest happened. But yeah, I guess the plan is,
in that time, I would like to do one thing.
If you can't have been retroactively doing something for an hour while having this
conversation. I'm not. That's not what I was trying to do. I would just like to. I need to go get something from my room real quick. This is all I was trying to do.
That's fair. So you head upstairs before you decide to head out. Cool.
I close the door.
Sure.
I do the 1980s, lean against
montage?
the door thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
The Molly Wingrod.
I don't know what we're about to get into, but I don't know if you can hear me either, but I feel like it's worth saying. His name is Haroon. Or Haroom.
Haroon with an N.
With the N, cool.
Oh, an N. I thought it was an M.
No.
His name
is... I keep getting this wrong. I thought it was Harum.
Haroon. Haroon.
His name...
Oh.
His name is Haroon. If you have any dealings with him...
His name is Haroon.
It's a good time to tell me. I pray.
Right. Why don't you go ahead and make a religion check for me?
Never goes well.
No, I'll tell you what. This is intimidation.
Oh, God. That does not seem like a good option.
You basically just prayed, if you know about this, you should tell me.
And as I'm rubbing my symbol...
Yeah.
Man, we're about to get real fucky with this. I cast guidance on myself.
That's fine.
Let's get
you
fucky.
Guide yourself trying to intimidate your god.
Yeah.
Go for
it. We're gonna get real fucky with
Go for it.
Oh my god.
We're getting
so,
fucky.
Intimidation check, and you get to add your D4 to it.
12 total.
12. Okay.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Let's see. Okay. There's no response, but you're kind of used to that at this point. It's hard to tell if you're just not being heard, if you're being heard and ignored, if he's busy, if he's there.
If he exists. I mean...
Lots of mixed information at this point, but, that's something that Emmett's having to battle with, among everything else. So, in the moment, you're kind of a pious person. Like, you have a reverence and a respect for him, but some frustration shows through in this prayer. And you don't, it's kind of one of those, you take this moment to yourself to kind of center yourself before you go to do what you guys are about to do. And it's kind of better than nothing, but I got no answer and I still have a job that needs to be done.
Kasmin, if you can hear me, his name's Haroon, and I don't know if you're fighting him too, but if anyone can hear me.
Make a persuasion check.
Yo, I'm out here trying to fucking make shit
happen. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. 19 total.
19. Okay.
Sam, is that cheating? This feels like
you don't know. You're not there. He's upstairs.
I'm not saying this aloud. I'm just saying this as a human being.
Right.
It's dirty.
There's also no response or anything here, and you've even had some weird dealings with Kasmin in the recent past, but you don't hear anything, feel anything different, and you have your task ahead of you.
Yeah, I head downstairs.
Okay, so you guys have prepared and gathered your stuff.
I'm gonna be prepping. I want to be prepping.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. What do you got going on?
I'm gonna powder my balls. I'm gonna stretch it out to keep it limber.
Two backflips.
Yeah, I'm do a few backflip practice backflips, maybe like a handstand.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Mikey 10 flips now.
I'm taking I walk in my room. I take every piece of clothing off. I stretch everything. I go.
You put on the Rocky theme. You're flipping around.
Yeah.
Solid.
Then I get clothed. I take out my little statue of my now deceased half sister.
R.I.P.
And, fully clothed when I do this.
Right.
And I'm just gonna look at it and maybe think kind thoughts, and then
you're kind of you're hyping yourself up for what you guys are about to do, and then you're using this kind of this little statue that Emmett made you of Rissa as like a reminder of what's at stake and what you have like invested in everything that's going on and what you've already lost. I mean, your own life is at stake, but to you, oddly enough, that's not what's important. It's about everyone else that this could affect and that's involved. So you take your time to center yourself as well. Day, do you have anything going on while everybody's kind of taking their own individual like mini prep time before you guys reconvene downstairs and head towards the Port of the Kraken?
I'd like to go to my room again and consult with Kasmin once more.
Sure.
Can I take this time to do so?
Absolutely.
Kasmin, I'm looking for your guidance. It would have really helped if you were there with me with the wizard, but I can only say that there was work to be done and you had to do it, which I completely understand. Is there anything you can say to guide me, Kasmin? Is there anything I can say to you? I've experienced a lot recently. I have a name for you, which you have not responded. I would like to tell you. Are you there, Kasmin? Are you there?
There is no response.
Ruh-roh.
I go into meditation land until the guys are done.
Okay. Roll a d12 for me. Don't be so upset about it.
Maybe you have the wrong number. Just
what'd you get?
Hello.
3.
A 3? Okay. As you enter this kind of trance and you just take a moment to quiet yourself and you're just kind of meditating, resting, thinking about everything that's just transpired and what's ahead of you. you're kind of, you have like quick flashes of being back in that dream you had, where there's like a brief couple of seconds where you're just standing in this just like vast emptiness, where there's just a burned landscape with ash floating about, swirling in the air and littering the ground. And then, it comes and disappears just as quick. And then a flash again of you hurtling towards this just sea of fire, past bits of molten rock and all these gouts of flame. And then that vision disappears. And then you kind of come to almost like seeing yourself in this state where you're just meditating. And like silhouetted far behind you, you see those yellow burning eyes just kind of illuminate in the darkness behind you. And then you just kind of come to again in your soda cine room. So everyone can go ahead and benefit from your rest. You all reconvene downstairs, and you are headed to the port of the Kraken. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Okay. So the port is pretty busy. It's early afternoon. You guys get through, still passing. You do take note. Your time coming from the archives back to the guild hall, as well as now heading to the port. There's a much more present guard presence. Not that they're like swarming, but it's not like here and there are guards. You're seeing like pairs of guards on horses like patrolling around. There's been a notable like increase in guard presence overall in the city, just with the recent happenings, which the Duke also mentioned was going to be a thing. If anything, I guess you feel a little more secure, as does everyone. Some people are a little put off by it, thinking they're being nosy, but for the most part, the general attitude is like, yeah, stuff is crazy right now. Like, we're down with having more guards around. It means less shenanigans can happen, in theory. And you can see it's kind of swarming. The port is very, very busy. There are ships coming in and out. You can see people. There's like several fishmongers lined up. You do catch a number of like Jagaran people in the port, doing side street performances, selling wares, much like you saw Yashel. You do not see the kids, or any kids for that matter. You do not see Yashel, but you like, it's enough of note. You've encountered the people before. You can see them, and now you even kind of get a bit of a better idea, as Jet was mentioning. Like they're all over the city, and they're never really like locked down in a place. That's kind of like their MO, and how they stay safe is by being just this, enigma that moves around the city. You are also kind of keeping an eye out for deck members, as it seems is a notable thing. If you guys want to look for anyone in particular, go ahead and make perception checks for me, all of you.
Scoping it out, looking around. 20. I'm gonna guidance myself now.
That's a 4.
Sweet.
Plus 2, 6.
Okay.
Perception?
Yes.
19.
Okay.
18. My math is terrible.
Awesome. Looking around, Emmett, you don't really take note of anyone familiar around. It's super busy, but there's nobody that stands out, and it's not like you miss them. You're scanning pretty well, and it's like your knowledge of there's no, you don't see Archon amongst any of the guards or any of the guards you've recognized before. You don't see anybody that you would know, or even that seems suspicious. Nothing seems off. This is just, it's a busy port. You're keeping a watchful eye, and so far things seem normal. It's middle of the afternoon. It's a busy hub, but things seem on the up and up. You're just at the port at like 2 in the afternoon. With your natural 20 day, you can spot at the far end of one of the docks. There's like this little shack, which you remember Seven coming out of, and there's like several people kind of gathered, like a handful of people, 5 or 6, that all have like these ledgers and like long scrolls, like manifests and stuff, that are checking in with this guy. And there's these 2 kind of like big brutish looking dudes, and behind this little like table, sitting up on a stool, is this little goblin fellow who is discussing things and going over them with them. He takes at least enough of import that you would point it out to Emmett and Seven as like, hey, is that the guy? You haven't necessarily seen the guy himself, but like looking around, same thing. You notice no one important, and then you see that guy in the midst of all this commotion.
Nudge, nudge. 7, I think that's our guy up there, right?
And as he points this out to you, it is in fact the goblin that you dealt with.
Ooh, that him.
So
Right,
you see him.
Has
he's
he
here.
seen your
He's-
face before?
You can't be recognized, dude.
All right. So should I disguise myself, or should I just maybe hide my face, or what?
Yeah.
Should I hang back?
I would disguise probably. Let's go into our alley. Can I find the alley that we dipped into before with the box?
Yeah, and there's a couple people around. Like, it's very busy. It's not so late that they're like empty. There's a couple people, just like somebody might be taking a break from their job or something, and like, you know, eating or just like chilling in the alley with a drink or whatever. A couple people conversing. Nothing weird, but I mean, it's better than just being out in public for sure.
When we're going through the alley, the first group of people I see in that alley, I would like.
If you're going to that same alley, there's two guys. They both have like this. They both have like cups of water or something, and they're eating. They're just sitting on some crates. They look like they are wearing like plain clothes. They look like they might work in the tavern that they're like the inkwell itself. They look like they might be guys that are like, you know, like waiters, so to speak, or something. They just look like you're run-of-the-mill workers, and they're just on break or something in this alley.
I stand next to them, and I stare at them.
Hello?
You guys need to move. Now.
Oh, intimidating.
Why so forceful? We're just on break, having a bit of lunch. If you don't mind, we've been working all morning.
Do it
plenty of
somewhere
space.
else.
Go find somewhere else.
If I were you, I'd move.
Just do it somewhere
My
else.
friend- My
Go ahead
friend's
and
in
make
a
it
real mood, you guys.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Nine.
No plus.
Nice.
No plus, nothing.
No, that is it. I always.
They kind of look to you. You even as you're saying this are like you need to move, and you're kind of like, what am I saying to yourself? Where you're like, that's harsh. You see one guy kind of like stand up and sort of square up at you, and his buddy kind of stands up and like puts his hand on his chest. It's like, just still got a shift to finish. So just find somewhere else where we're not so bothered, huh? And he kind of even gives you like a little pat on the chest, and they just leave.
Oh, you just got cucked.
I rolled
just
another
got
nat
cucked.
1. Your 9 worked.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I am
this
not.
section of alley clears out. They just kind of give you like a weird,
I didn't like
glare
that.
and walk
What
off.
is-
Well done.
I don't know. That was
Well done.
That felt.
I clap him on the back.
It felt powerful,
Well
but
done,
I'm not.
buddy.
I don't know if I'm uncomfortable.
I believed you.
I didn't
believe you
at
didn't
all.
disguise it.
I did not believe me.
It would have been nice if
do your thing.
Master Warlock would have done a little bit of his thaumaturgy or a little something to help you out in the intimidation department. Would have been cool.
I suppose I
all right.
could have. I'm usually not one to intimidate too heavily.
All right, fair. All right, so the other side of the alley, facing the populace, I'm going to cast a minor illusion, some kind of anything that I could post, any like a fake cloth or something that would obscure us from what we're about to do, if possible.
Okay, so you're trying to make it look like there's just like even if it's like a laundry line or something, kind of covering the alley as best you can.
Just cast minor illusion to obscure the view from anybody, any.
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
You do that. Emmett, you and they can both see this like a laundry line essentially with like like long johns and like a big blanket. Looks like they're like pinned to it. Kind of apparate. You can see through it. Your passives are high enough. You realize it is an illusion, but it's there. You see what he's trying to do. If somebody's not great at looking, hopefully, I mean, that'll work. But it's not too difficult to see through. So it's
Jim, you want to help me out? My magics are not so hot. If we're gonna be disguising ourselves and calling up,
Just
doing anything else,
hide in a box and do it.
I think that Emmett's body is
there's
actually
no one in
pretty
this-
opaque.
There's no one in this alley.
Stand behind Emmett.
I'm blue.
Emmett just cleared it out. You have a moment. So if you're going to disguise yourself, now's the time.
all right. I cast disguise self.
To look like what?
You know what? I'm gonna look like a little goblin.
Okay.
I
Okay.
cast
So
disguise self as well to
Okay.
look like a sailor, regular old sailor dude.
Sure,
Guy
like
just hopped off the boat, walking around looking for a drink. You know.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh.
Change your features up a bit. You just look like some ship worker or like someone who works the docks. Yeah.
I want to look like I work on the docks too. If
okay,
possible,
but still a goblin, right? You both just becoming more people. That's cast it. You cast it. You see him do it. And you're like,
oh
yeah, that. he just has himself as a goblin, then is like gives himself the puffed out pantaloons and like a torn shirt.
That's perfect. Way better.
Yeah, because originally my goblin was in a tuxedo.
Right. yeah. Now you're in you're in the $10 like pirate costume from Party City.
Yeah, goblins are very. I hold out my hands and I. Are you not doing it to me too?
Oh,
I'm unable to disguise you.
I don't want to waste any of my magics. I don't have a whole lot of them.
Don't you think I look a little?
You also can't. It's disguise self.
Oh yeah.
So, You know the limitations of the spells. You can't.
Oh okay.
I mean,
can't.
Okay, should I hang back, or maybe I'm your bodyguard?
I could give you this. I take out the hat that I got from our little gnome friend.
So he pulls out this like a green kind of Robin Hood looking cap with this big white feather like swooping out the back of it.
I kind of like rattle shift a little to rattle the heavy plate I have on.
Yeah.
What in the world is this going to do?
I don't know. It's all I have.
I put it on.
It's an accessory.
Okay. You are normally dressed, and you now have this like very green hat with a huge white feather swooping at the back.
Huge white feather.
You look kind of weird.
Check this out. Ask it for north.
Where's north?
And it sits there for a moment, and then you see the feather, and it's just pointing this direction.
Oh, that's nifty.
Pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
I feel like I look like a fool.
Yeah, maybe take it off. Maybe take it off. Maybe I draw attention to you a little bit.
Here, take this back.
Thank you.
Well, I'm glad I know what it does now.
Perfect.
Well,
so your disguises are set.
Maybe we try and pull this man away, this little goblin man, the goblin man. Pull him away to another place. I can't just cast Zone of Truth in the middle of the docks. What's our plan? Are you trying to get him somewhere for us to interrogate him?
Seven, do you know if he sells anything?
Fucking probably his ass because he fucking dickhead.
Okay, Seven, you're gonna need to just bucket that or
sorry.
You're gonna get us killed
because he's a whore.
Well, you hate him. I know that you hate him.
Clearly upset with him.
Are you? Tell us how you really feel. Actually, don't. Please keep that to yourself.
Yeah,
we have to be
in my
tricky.
hand. I'm clutching. In my hand, I'm clutching the sculpture of the sister that
there you go.
Emmett made.
He's holding that little statue of Rissa that you made him.
I put a hand on his. I put a hand on his shoulder.
You go to put a hand on his shoulder and like. Oh yeah,
oh yeah, that's right.
Seven.
I mean, he can see through the illusion. So there's like this little goblin. That looks like he's holding on to nothing, but can see you.
Seven. I just realized this is the first time we've been back here since that night, and if this is too much, we can take care of it.
No. I'll be fine. We should do this together. I'm glad you guys are here.
You have to keep it together, or we lose everything. There's no chance if we're not composed.
No, I'll do it. I'll keep my shit together.
All right,
I can do it.
So you guys are going to approach, right? You're heading over like around the crowd. You get to the docks. There's a little bit of like a line. There's maybe like 3 or so people left that are like, it seems like people are, either checking in. You can see them kind of talking and hailing these other dock workers who are like either loading or unloading cargo, and they all seem to have like manifests, and they're checking in with him. Seven, this guy's the harbor master. Like this is his job. He's doing his job. Emmett, you actually recognize someone as you guys are coming around and approaching. You can see at the end of one of these docks, there's this very tall, very large, big, broad-shouldered, covered in tattoos orc with this like bucket hat on and this big bamboo fishing pole just like
what was
out.
his name again?
There is no one around him.
Gorthok?
It's Gorthok.
There's no one around him, and he's just sitting there with his hat low, kind of down on the brim, and this line out. He's just standing there. He's got a big like jug next to him on the ground. There's a small like woven basket as well. He's just at the you see him as you guys are headed towards this line.
Isn't it Gorthok? Or is it?
It is.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
so proud of you for taking notes. Well done.
He's the guy who he's like the guard almost, right? Like peace, kind of a peacekeeper. That was like kind of what I felt like he was, or is he
sort of? Last time you saw him, he was also fishing, and I think you like went to go ask him something, and he was kind of abrasive, and he just told you to just keep quiet and not. You're scaring the fish, like don't bother him.
Oh, okay.
Don't give him a reason to do it, and you were just like, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
But he's here fishing again, and there is like other docks have ships and like people going up and down them. There's like this one dock that no one is on. There are no boats, and he's just at the end of it by himself. Bit of a figure.
Interesting. Gentlemen, let's do it.
You guys approach and you get in line. You can see them kind of going through. Eventually, the goblin's sitting there, hands the stuff off and like dismisses the one other guy, and he sees you three. Wow. He sees you three and he's like, all right, what do you guys got coming and going?
We're going and we need supplies. We need to know. We need to purchase deckhands from you. If we can do that with you, we need to
hire labor. Where you headed? And what ship? You got a manifest or something?
Not at the moment. We require to speak with you privately for a quick moment. We have some things that aren't necessarily.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like your buddy said. What?
No, he's right. There are a lot of these two are working with me.
I thought we were looking for the harbor master. I'm a goblin. That's my goblin voice.
Good, noted. He looks to you and he's like, yeah, that's me. He then will say in goblin to you, what exactly are you doing with these clowns?
These fucking jabronis.
Are you responding in goblin?
Yeah.
Do you know goblin?
Oh, you speak goblin?
Yeah, I speak goblin.
Oh, that's what I was like. Oh, you lucky motherfucker. Okay.
I was like, we're fucked. We're
yeah.
Okay, so go for
common, elvish, and goblin.
Cool.
Hey, these fucking jamooks, they pay me in good coin.
Well, at least it's profitable. He'll continue on in common.
Hey, how was Caldwallen for us? How they treat us here? They treat us nice.
I'm the harbor master, aren't I? And he kind of grins, and you can see 3 or 4 gold teeth.
Yeah.
He continues in common. Back to you, Day. So, you guys are looking to hire some help. You got some journey ahead of you. What's wrong with talking right here, where I've got my boys with me? You can see him kind of pat, and there's these 2 big, like burly dudes. Just one of them just like spits off into the dock, stares at you.
Was hoping to get a little bit more of a private setting. Kind of look behind myself. I see the other people kind of crowding up behind us, trying to talk to the dockmaster. Like,
and why? Why should I owe you that courtesy, huh? At the very least, you haven't offered me anything, and you can see him kind of giving the.
I take out 2 coins and I shake. I say, hey, we're pretty flush. We don't mind making it worth your while. I rub 2 gold coins together. I don't know why I'm talking about my South character. We rub 2 gold coins together between my hands.
He looks to you and then looks back to you, Day. He's like, so, are we trying to make an appointment, or you just want to talk business here?
If we can talk business here in a private setting, it would be appreciated. But if we need to have an appointment,
I think my friend is alluding to us needing a little bit of privacy.
Well, what are you offering for a bit of privacy?
We'll make it worth your while. Believe me.
5 gold pieces to begin with.
Listen, Listen, I know what it takes to grease the wheels a little bit to get things done.
Do you? And 2 gold normally does it. I'm not talking about you barmaids or anything.
I'm just showing you. I got the goods. I take my whole purse out. I give it a good shake. This is just the tip of the iceberg, my friend.
Put 5 gold coins on the table again.
Right. 7, why don't you go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage? He's already kind of a little won over by your performance so far. I totally forgot you spoke Goblin, so, bullet dodge.
10 and a 20! Yes! Daddy is back!
I'm so mad this is working.
As you kind of
you
jingle your purse, and he gives a little grin. You see him turn and climb and hop down off the stool, drops down on the dock, and he's like, we'll see what we can work out, huh? Just no funny business. Matter of fact, why don't you have your big guy stay with my big guys? We'll go in and talk, eh? You see him
That's fair.
fish for some keys, open the door and kind of push in. He's like, you two, come on. And he just walks inside, motion for you to follow. You see those 2 big guys kind of shift, and they're on either side of this doorway, and they both just are kind of staring at you, Emmett. They're just 2 human dudes, but they're these are some.
Are they bigger than me?
Dudes.
Or are they smaller?
They're about as big as you, but they're one dude is he's got a big gut, and it's covered in scratches and scars, and they're big burly dudes. They've just got tanned, sun leathered skin. These look like sailors. These are some hardened dudes.
Fellas.
Gentlemen.
Well, get a move on.
But I'm waiting.
Yeah, you're waiting out here.
Yeah, I didn't go anywhere. Do you want me to go in there?
From inside again, you hear, I haven't got all day.
I shut the door behind me.
Okay, I'm imagining you both go inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I walk inside.
Tiny room. You can see there's a angled table that's got a couple of maps and other stuff. There's a cup with a bunch of rolled up paper and stuff in it. There's there's ropes and stuff kind of hanging, little glass baubles and stuff everywhere. There's that window that's kind of covered by some paper or something. Another a drawer and all this other stuff. You get in, you shut the door. He's kind of hopped up in his seat, and he's like, "So, what are you looking for, really?"
I messaged 7. We're looking to find Declan, right?
Yeah, we're looking to find Declan. We're looking to find the deck. This guy probably isn't going to give us information willingly.
Okay.
So we might have to. I might cast a fucking friendship on him. No, that's friends. Unless you got something better. Do you have something better? Do you have a better spell?
You guys
I said okay. I've been replying with little okay, affirm yes, so he can talk
That's
back.
Cute. That's cute.
Are you two just you delirious from sun exposure or something? What you
It's just a waste of look at each other. I cast Fey Presence.
Okay. Which does?
Let's see. He has to make a. He has to make a spell save DC.
Well, what's the save?
What's it do?
13.
Yeah.
I'm charming him.
Yeah, it's a what kind of save is it?
Oh, charming.
It's a spell save. Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. He succeeds. I got a 17.
Cool.
Oh.
So, and thankfully for you, there's no negative effects. You're trying to just beguile him with how freaking beautiful you are. And it doesn't quite work.
We're looking for some information, actually, Harbor Master.
Please, you can just call me Sid. What do you need?
Listen, Sid, we're looking for a man, or any information on a man, his whereabouts, where he can be found most frequently, where you might see him.
You're looking for someone. Sure, I need a name. Otherwise, sure, I seen a guy.
Yeah, we're
okay.
We're looking for a special type of person. Hey, do I you think I'd have anything from the deck on me? Did I have that parchment that one time and the arrow?
You had the
hog?
you had the note.
The note. Wouldn't I still have
you also have your card.
Oh right. Yeah, I'm gonna take that out. And at the Harbor Master say, I'm looking for some of my friends, and I show him the card.
He kind of he takes it and he looks at it for a moment. See him flip it over, gives it back to you, and where do you want it?
What? Where do you want it?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say
meeting.
Oh, fuck! I said that as fuck. I said that as
I know. Yeah. So, where do you want it? Do you want to set up a meeting? Is this a drop? Are you picking up?
Yeah, I'd like a meeting.
That's fair. Not a lot of rank you can pull. You're just some scum, but we all start somewhere, huh? You kind of
yeah.
Anyways, guess you pick a time and a place, and I can probably send a couple guys over.
All right.
Who's this in regards to, anyways? Or does it matter?
Between I shouldn't know this, but between you and me, it's above my pay grade. But
everything is. You're at the bottom of the tier, bud.
Hey, the guy. Hey, what do you know about this guy, Declan? Is he? Will he do right by me? Should I be looking over my shoulder?
What do you know about this guy, Declan?
Nothing.
You see him kind of stiffen up a bit.
I hear he's the guy to talk to.
He looks to you, Day. And what about this one?
Where's your card? Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this dummy. He don't know nothing about nothing.
I'm making my business who I worry about, especially when you come to my operation. Where's your card?
I fucking, I'm gonna try to cast friendship on him.
Cut to outside.
Is it a cast? Isn't it just it's a fucking?
I mean, yeah. It's a. I think it's a save. Let's look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Friends.
Yeah. Why am I looking it up? I got the book right here. If you find it before me, go for it. I know it's a kind of a save.
Oh, it's a friends is an enchantment cantrip.
Well, right.
You guys are sailors. Huh?
For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at the creature of your choice.
You got any great?
So charisma, or you have advantage. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I guess. So
he doesn't have to make a save. You just
I just have to roll for charisma.
At the end of it, though, I think it's like for the next hour. And he's gonna know that you did this after.
Yeah, after that hour, he's not gonna be a fan of that.
Right.
Goblin.
Well, he at least knows that you used magic to make him be swayed by you.
Yeah,
which is fine considering what you're doing. Yeah, you have so it's for the next minute. You have advantage on all charisma checks towards this guy, and after that, he knows that you use this to influence his mood. So you basically put a timer on yourself of like, all right, you got a minute. So you cast friends, and then what do you say?
Say, look. You know what it's like. You know what it's like for one of us. I'm just trying to get what's mine. I'm trying to make my way up this ladder.
So go ahead and make a persuasion check, and you do have advantage because friends right now.
I go ahead and cast
13?
suggestion on this goblin.
Okay.
13 and 6.
Okay,
So,
I'll wait for his turn.
Persuasion.
Right, I mean, I would say he's stepped in and said this stuff, and you see him even kind of, you know enough about magic. He does something in like fluidly as he's casting this. So we'll let this kind of ride out. So what's your total with persuasion?
17.
17? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of like he goes from like staring you down, Day, and he looks back to you, Seven. He's like, I guess I don't need to be too worried about it anyways. You just, well, if I'm being honest, you're a nobody. So, look, just tell me where you want to set this up so I can get this started and we can get back to our normal jobs, huh?
Okay, I'm gonna try to reply to Day. Where the fuck do we set this up? Where the?
Well,
I suggest that you tell us everything you know about the deck, and then you take a rest to just kind of like hang back for a second as we leave, so that you can collect yourself. And as I cast suggestion.
Okay, and that's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
What's your DC?
13.
Okay. You see him like look at you for a minute, and he's like, "Well, anyways, where's this meeting happening, boys?" Seems like he resisted your. In fact, he did not follow your suggestion.
Where's the most what's a nice discreet place in this town? I'm new here.
Anywhere we need to, you tell me. You can just meet at the tavern. I don't know what your business is. If you just need a meeting, I could just send you some people.
Yeah, let's go to any tavern. Goblin friendly tavern, obviously.
Why don't you go wait at table 10 in the Inkwell, and I'll send some people over within the hour, huh? Take a load off, enjoy a drink, and get out of my business. All right. It's open.
We walk out. I walk out.
Sure.
We'll walk out,
Eventually, I mean, Emmett, these two guys, they've been in there all of 5-6 minutes. It hasn't been too long. You can hear them talking, but it's, they're not like overly, it's drowned out by the noise of everything else around. But these two guys have just been standing silent and staring at you.
We've been doing the like flex battle, where I'm just
more or less, even if you're kind of getting, oh, you guys are sailors. You're
sailors, huh? You like
Nothing.
fish? Like the seas?
Eventually the door opens and you see Day and Seven come back outside, still disguised.
All right. Good talk.
Let's keep walking. I kind of like bustle Emmett's shoulder and kind of like walk away.
I follow.
Okay, where are you guys headed?
Message Emmett. We got a meeting at table 10 at this tavern across the way.
A meeting with
in
what?
An hour. With the deck.
What the fuck?
We are. What else were we supposed to do?
I don't know. What the fuck just happened?
Now.
I messaged back angrily with a.
Yes,
of course. and you guys are heading to the Inkwell, correct? You're making your way there as you're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seven, are you ready for this? Emmett, I'm messaging Seven now.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I have no idea.
All right, Emmett, we have no idea what we're doing here. We're going to be walking in blind, hopefully to
from
figure
behind you
something
guys, like as you're making your way through the crowd towards the Inkwell, you can hear this. You hear Sid's voice. Where is that little bastard?
What did you do? What did you do?
What happened? Seven, why is he looking for you?
Go bring that little green fool back here. We got some words.
Change back or something.
And you see those two big guys kind of turn to look to him, and they start looking around.
Talking to an alley.
What are y'all doing? Yeah, well, you're in the middle of it's a while to get to an alley.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get lost in the crowd.
Okay.
I stumble down and fall, and as I fall, I disguise self back to regular person. So I'm like, I hit the ground, and in the shuffle, I hope to be not noticed as changing.
Well, okay, so you fall, but you're coming back up as regular Day, or like a different. Okay.
No, regular Day.
Okay. You do so. Emmett, you even kind of like look back as the shouting happens. You see the big dudes like looking down to presumably where the goblin is, and then they like look around and look up, and one of them catches eyes with you, and he just kind of, you see him like do one of these, and he like turns to him and like points. They have spotted you at least.
I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this was going to happen.
Day stands back up undisguised. What are you guys doing? Because they are cutting through. They're like pushing people out of the way and coming.
Oh
towards
man.
You.
Oh,
I want to hit him. I want to hit him, Day.
Right.
I want to fucking hit him. I got to be honest. I really want to hit him.
I use minor illusion to across the way make another and it can't make sound. It's a visual illusion, but
it can do either or. You can either make a visual illusion or make a sound.
So it's visual. Hopefully,
Okay.
in the line of sight from the dockmaster, is who Seven disguised himself to be, kind of like looking around, like I hope they don't see me.
Oh.
Okay, so like from behind a crate or something, you're trying to make it look like he's hiding.
Little peekaboo.
Okay, what's your DC again? 13.
13.
Okay, kind of looks, and then you all hear a yell again. It's like, "You idiots! He's right here!" And they turn around. They like look back over their shoulder to you, Emmett, and then like look back to him, and they're like, one of them does like the, and then they start heading back to, they like start running towards
a building away.
Okay,
you're just running away.
I'm running. Yeah, they can see me.
Oh,
seems like your illusion worked. There, you all are you scattering? Are you all running in one direction? Are you following Emmett?
I'm gonna follow Emmett just because I guess
so
we're all running now.
You all book it.
I'm booking it until I see an alley.
I'm gonna get rid of the disguise.
Okay, so you go back
get rid
to
of the
7.
fucking,
right. As you all are running, after about 20 seconds, you hear another. You can hear him shout again. There's just like a what the. Get this bastard! And you guys are already, like,
hit him,
gone. So you're just in an alley. Everyone's undisguised.
It's getting worse.
What are y'all doing?
It's getting worse. What is happening?
You fucked that up.
What did we have a meeting? You said we have a meeting. What do you mean a meeting?
I doubt that the meeting is going to take place. Now
do you understand how dumb this? I was standing there and realizing he probably has my description somewhere, since we have dealings. If the fucking Harlequin knows what I look like, why did I just walk up to that table in the first place? Because now he's going to tell that 3 people came to his, and there's a blue half-orc man. Do you understand? Because I'm really not liking this plan anymore.
7, I'll give you this much too. You know how the spell works. You did friends. Friends wore off. You know how friends works.
Yeah, you know what? I banked on us getting a better shake information. He really didn't give us much. He just gave us a meeting, and then my spell wore off before the meeting. So,
is there a back door to that building?
Yeah. Oh, you want to try to sneak into his offices, the harbor master's quarters? I like this idea.
Unless you were just in the room, there is not. If it's in the harbor master's little shack, there's the one door.
That's
I don't know. Beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I guess maybe let's come back at night time and try to.
We have a meeting in an hour.
Go.
You still want
Are we ditching that?
All right, you want to like maybe hang out and see if anybody shows up for a meeting?
You all can hear the big dude shouting around the crowd, like basically yelling if anyone's seen a weird sailor little goblin.
How about this?
Disguise yourself.
It sounds like they're looking for you. No, he's returned to normal form. It sounds like they're looking for it. Right, that's fine. I'm just so you're aware.
You bring up a good idea. They recognize you. So what if you are at the tavern in an hour for the meeting, Emmett? They don't know what me and Day look like. So we'll also be in the tavern watching you. Play bait for a little bit, and we're going to see if anybody shows up asking questions.
Day, I'm beginning to see why you were angry in the prison a little bit. Yes, I am. It's a little different when the lens is pointed directly at just me, not hidden me, literally me. 7, do you think this will actually help?
Let's see. Well, here are our options. Option 1, we use you as bait in an hour and see if the goblin actually has deck people show up. Option 2, we sneak around the harbor in the middle of the night and try to beat the crap out of the goblin and get more information out of him. We don't. There's no. That's it. That's kind of all we have. Up to you guys. I'm not gonna.
I really don't want more to do with the deck, and I would like to be done with them. If you think that this is going to help do that, then I'm willing. But if you are not sure, then we should find another way.
I'm as sure as you. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. I don't know how high up the goblin is. I don't know who he knows. I don't know what kind of
1 second. I have to sneeze. I sneeze when I get nervous. I'm very nervous right now.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of forces he can call down. I have no idea. I don't have no idea how high his ties to the deck are and who he's now going to try to speak with about us. But I'm already marked for death, so I can't. It can't get any worse for me.
7. What if you're at the table? Okay, I'm just gonna throw another one out here. I know it sounds like I'm trying really hard not to be at that table, which I'll be the first to admit I am. But what if you're at that table and we use this as a means to? Seth's just rolling in the background trying to fuck us, and it's not.
These guys are looking for you, and they suck. I just rolled a 4 and a 5. You can hear them shouting around, and they're looking for. They're like, it's turning into like, hey, have you seen a goblin? But not like all the goblins around here. He's dressed in like sailor's clothes, kind of like that guy, but he's not that guy. Get out of my way.
All right, we're losing time. We should get a move on. But 7, what if you're actually sitting at the table and you use this as a ruse? I mean, maybe Jet was right. Maybe the easiest way is to say that you're going back to the deck, and we use that to our advantage.
All right. Listen.
We'll be there just in case. It would make sense at least then.
But they're going to know. They
know me. That's fine.
They know you.
That's fine.
So they know.
If even Day and I are there, that's fine. We're an entourage. We can back you up if something goes to shit.
I'll throw this out for you guys too. If the two big guys and that goblin are there, they'll know it's you. If he's sending someone, they might not. I mean, if he gives you a description of him, it maybe. But they could be looking for you around. Think you ran away. They don't necessarily know you're going to be at the meeting. So,
all right, let's
take that as you will.
Let's make ourselves scarce, and then I'll show up to the bar at the meeting with you guys.
Is there a door I can walk through? Like,
well, you guys just literally ran and ducked off in an alley.
Right? Yeah,
they told you the meeting is happening at the Inkwell, which is the tavern here in the port. You can get there. You're like a few buildings away.
Okay, cool. I'd like to scope out to where the guys aren't there and try to stealth my way.
You wait for a clearing, even without having to necessarily stealth. It's busy. You can get lost in the crowd, so you wait. These dudes are apparently stupid and are searching around for you. They've gone off elsewhere. You see the opportunity, and you all, even like maybe as a group, maybe you break off at different times, but you all find your way headed towards the Inkwell. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh my god!
Good place to stop. So
great.
Cool. We'll bring it right back in for part 2. So you guys are headed to, you make your way inside of the Inkwell. It's fairly busy. It's early to mid afternoon. There's several people sitting around. You can see it's fairly crowded. Not like at capacity, but there's people having food and drink, like lunch happening. Dock workers, travelers alike. You can see most of the staff seems to be a pretty good spread. There are some goblins. There's like the main floor downstairs where the bar and everything is. There are steps going up to like a top level that's got tables and stuff up above as well. There are humans and goblins and half orcs and all like everything around that are like present here as patrons and as workers. The two guys you saw in the alley earlier, Emmett, are actually here working. They're like serving food and stuff, working the kitchen and the tables. You can see that there's this big like kind of burly half orc guy behind the bar who is actually like making drinks and doing stuff. So you guys just walk in. I mean, it's just kind of, no one like greets you, so to speak, but it's you guys were in here once before when you were trying to like get a hold on the situation when you first had the first run with Declan. So I've been here before. You just kind of take a seat wherever you can. There's room to sit up at the bar. There's a few tables, but as far as like a totally empty table, there's only like 2, because it's pretty packed in here.
I'm gonna walk up to the bar. Can I get table 10, please?
Table 10. I guess it looks like 10's occupied by those guys. He points over. You can just see there's a group of 5 or 6 people. They're just normal like dock workers and stuff. they're all just like on lunch. It looks like they're just eating and drinking, hanging out at the table.
But,
You'll have to wait till they're.
We can, but can I get table 10, please?
Kind of narrows his eyes at you from him. He's like, sure. As soon as they leave, you can have the table. Just said that.
I walk up to table 10. I put down 5 gold pieces. I say, gentlemen, we need some privacy. Would you mind giving us the table?
Are we all going to sit together? Or am I going to sit by myself? And then you guys kind of do your,
As you place this gold on the table, the guy kind of like looks at it. You see him even like pick up one of the coins. He like looks over his shoulder to you, and he's like, guess I don't see why not. We'll be finished up shortly, but it's all yours. He, like scoops the coins onto his tray, and you see him get up, and the other guys kind of turn and look at him, and slowly, one by one, they just get up from the table and move to another empty table. You now have an empty table 10 in front of you.
At the bar, can I have 2 shots?
I mean, Oh, go ahead.
Can I have 2 shots of whiskey, please?
Sure. See him pull out a couple shot glasses, pours a whiskey.
I down both of them.
Yeah. It's like rough.
Are there
rough
servers
morning already, eh?
here? Are there people like waiting tables?
There are people just like walking around more or less. You just have to be at a table and someone will come over. You've been in here before, so you can either just get service at the bar or eventually someone will just come up to you.
Okay. I make my way to the bathroom, and
Okay.
I disguise self as one of these servers.
Okay.
And
How much is
I
that,
message Emmett. I
by
say,
the way?
I'll be your server today. Take a seat. The table's open. I'll be popping by in a minute.
So you hear that as you're interacting. You just have these shots. What did you say?
How much is that?
Oh, it's
Like a silver, 2 silver, 5 silver, 10
two,
silver?
2 silver, so 4 silver for both shots right now.
Cool. I put those on the bar, and then I go sit down at the
Okay.
table.
7, what are you doing? You just following Emmett right now, or what's the game plan here?
Yeah, guys, are we going to sit together, or should I take my own seat somewhere?
You know, do you think the deck would believe if I wanted to join their forces too?
And
I'm asking
Anyone?
specifically.
All right, no, listen, man. The deck, listen, man.
So it's you two sitting at the table, right?
Yeah.
But
You two are
let's
at the
see if we
table.
can talk.
Day, you come over, disguised as one of these, like one of the workers in the inkwell here. You see a guy approach you. I mean, you heard the message that he just gave you. I'll say it's enough that he kind of gives you a nod, and you realize it's Day. That's fair. You guys know each other well enough.
All right, yeah, man. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna take out I'm gonna discreetly take my daggers out of their usual holsters and then slide them into
Like
the
up,
sleeves,
like so they're kind of concealed.
so that they're, if need be, with a flick of the wrist, I can kind of get the hilt underneath my hand, kind of a deal, so they're
You're
at the
basically
ready.
already armed and ready to go, but not just sitting at the table holding daggers out. That's fine. So yeah.
Yeah, discreetly,
Right.
discreetly armed and ready. Should things go awry.
My mace is on the table.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're
shit.
just gonna sit it on the table. I mean,
Yeah.
it's available, but you kind of even sit it's like you take them off so they're not at the bench, and you even sit your
Yeah.
shield and your mace right there. But we know the intent is for you to grab them immediately and arm yourself in case stuff goes crazy. But to anyone else, you guys are just relaxing at the table.
7, I feel like, first off, our waiter's going to be Day. I don't know if he messaged you. But second, I feel as if I may be able to leverage my past a little bit into trying to join with you.
All right.
I don't see another option anymore. I don't know. We don't have leads, and I'm feeling a little desperate. So, what's the worst that could happen?
Well, for me, nothing.
You're probably going to die either way.
Yeah. If I don't do this, I'll die. So either they attempt to kill me now, or they succeed in killing me later.
True.
I don't have much of a choice.
So Day, you come out of the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what are you walking? What do you do?
walking around, kind of bussing tables, just
okay,
doing
so you're
some regular
just
stuff. Yeah.
blending in. I just didn't know if you've actually gone to them or not yet. So yeah, you're just
No.
taking. I mean, you're keeping an eye out though at this point. So
Oh, yeah.
You've seamlessly just blended right in. Perfect.
Yeah.
As you're walking back and like dropping off some dishes and stuff at the edge of the bar where you've seen some of the other guys do so, there is a gentleman that has come in. He looks like a regular, he looks like anyone else you've seen in the port. He's got just like a weathered kind of brown cloak on with the hood, but the hood is down. Just a regular human dude. Bit like 5 o'clock shadow, kind of rough appearance. He just sits down and you can see as you're like dropping your stuff off, he's talking to the bartender and he's like, I'm supposed to be meeting some folks at table 10. If you've and you can see the bartender's like, well, there's a group that just left, but a couple guys at the table now. And he kind of like looks over. It's like, oh, yeah, that'd be my mates. Cheers. And you see him get up and he kind of like scans the room for a minute and starts walking towards the table. Emmett and Seven, eventually you see this man kind of walk over and he almost like goes past and around like he's going kind of by you guys, and he like just stands and stops for a moment and he turns and looks down and he's like gives you a nod. Mind if I have a seat?
Do you have any business cards?
Stupid. Yeah. No, is there any like deck greeting that I might be?
I mean,
like any kind
there's
of like
thieves can't. Thieves can't, and that's at least a secret language of signals, and it can be a written language. You've seen your secret note, so thieves can't. Do you want to try to defuse this?
I'm gonna try to use thieves can't. And
okay.
Like a collection of business cards.
Are you fuck? What the fuck do I ask this guy?
I mean, all right. Are you like just giving it like a basically thieves can't greeting of like, yeah, we're like we were waiting on you kind of thing?
Yeah. Something simple like that.
Sure. So you do that, and he kind of like he looks to you and sees that. You see him relax a little bit, and he looks back to Emmett. Still, he kind of circles back around the table and like is sitting across from Emmett, but sitting on the side with you, Seven. He sits down for a moment. You can see him. He just like sits down. He like pulls out a small little kind of like a leather, not like a pouch or something. Think of like a collapsible wallet would be, where like he's got his daggers and like it's just like his satchel of stuff. He just like sits it on the table as well. And he kind of looks around. He's like, "So can we get a drink while we discuss things? You must be new."
Day, are you dressed as a male or female? Are you a male disguised as a male? Male. Waiter, around. What are you having, friend? What is your name? What can I call you by?
I'm Otto.
Otto.
Right.
Around for Otto here. It's very nice to meet you.
Otto, what can I get you today?
Just ale. Anything is fine.
Ale. And you two gentlemen?
Same. 2 for each of us.
2 ales each?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're buying.
And a round of your best meats from the kitchen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sounds great. Kind of turn around, shuffle back toward the kitchen. I have no idea how this works.
What are you gonna do? You don't work here.
We'll get to you in a second.
What the fuck?
So he looks to you guys, and you see him like lace his fingers together and he's sitting on the table. He's like, "So I understand you're well, you set this up. What are we moving something? Someone? What's the word?" He's looking to you, Seven.
We're here. I'm gonna lean in also.
Yeah.
We're here to make contact.
Right. Well, here I am. I was told I'd be picking up some job or something for you, but
well, the job is.
We do have a job. An important job.
The job is. We're looking for. I lean in. maybe in thieves can I say the job is we're looking for Declan. We've got
so
some important
a trick is with thieves can't is it's silent, so it'd be like one of those you can think of like SWAT team kind of signals, like it's not a spoken language.
Fuck, I thought it was spoken. No shit.
It's just a coded thing, so it's not necessarily a spoken language. It'd be like it'd be one of those you can be saying like normal things like how was your day today, and on the table you can be signaling something else.
I'm just like, yeah,
it's spy talk. You're
right. So maybe aloud I'm saying, we're looking for friends. We're looking for a specific friend, but like I'm in Thieves Can. I'm gesturing that,
asking about Declan. Okay. And he kind of looks around, and you see him lean in, and he's like, he's carrying on normal conversation as well of like, oh, I have friends from, but like it's basically filler nonsense. To mask what you're really saying. And then you can see them both just sitting there with their hands like forward on the table, but you can see that they're almost, think of like an umpire giving signals. They're doing some, like they're just signaling to each other. So it probably looks weird as heck to you because you're hearing Seven say, like asking about his friends. And then this guy saying, I have friends in this town far overseas. It's been a long time since I've seen them. They're just having a very normal conversation, but they're doing weird stuff with their hands.
I try to mimic it and say, I also have friends.
Kind of like one guy looks over to you and then looks back. He would signal to you through Thieves Can't 7 of like, who is this mook?
I'm just, he's good muscle. He's helpful.
I pick up a fork.
Yeah.
And I just bend it in half.
Is that a feat?
He will go on to ask why you need to see Declan.
He's looking for me specifically.
Well, if he's looking for you, then I imagine he would set up the meeting, wouldn't he?
It's him and I have a very special relationship. He wouldn't even know how to get a hold of me.
Fair. He's going to ask for your card, which is basically it's like pulling rank.
Right.
And you have your card, it's a 2, except you already know that you never actually even made that. You just had it as like a hopeful. You bailed before anything. So
yeah.
But he's pulling rank on you. Or he's at least asking for it. He hasn't shown anything to identify himself, but he's questioning yours as you ask that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll show him the 2.
Okay. He takes it from you and looks it over real quick, and then like slides it back across the table, and he just kind of grins, and he says, so you're just getting your feet wet like I am. He's basically shown that he's also low ranked. He's a runner. He's a who knows. He's not important, and you know that.
Can I trick him with minor illusion with the card on the table? Can I turn that into a higher card? Is that possible? I don't know I don't know if minor illusion is.
You can. So what do you want to make the card look like when you slide it over to him?
I'm gonna say. Oh God, what's a fucking respectable? Maybe like a fucking 10. Like nothing too crazy. Nothing where he'd be like fucking like well, king. Like something that where it's
sure.
Like, okay.
A 10's up there. You know enough about the ranking system. If you're trying to feel like show him that you're more important than a 2, but not be like, I run a whole faction to myself. Maybe like a 5 or a 6.
Okay, yeah, 5 or let's not get too fucking crazy with it, right? Where it's like
it's a
10. I'm just saying.
All right, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna try to flash it up. I'm gonna do something like hey,
it's a great time for a 7 to happen. I mean,
I'm gonna say don't let because it's thieves. Listen, speaking in Thieves Can't part of the deck. I'm gonna say don't always believe what your eyes tell you, and then maybe I like wave my hand, and then you see like a 5 or a 6.
Okay,
I'm gonna try. That's the move.
You change it to, we'll say, a 5. He looks to you, kind of raises an eyebrow, and looks down to the card, and you see his eyes kind of widen, and he like sits up for a minute.
Yeah, with another swipe of my hand, I'm gonna slide of hand so that the card vanishes. So like a little quick magician, just like
make a sleight of hand check for me.
Nice, Mike. Nice.
So you're doing a quick like. it's a different card, and then you pick it up. You're full on like.
That's an 11 plus sleight of hand is a 7, so that's 18.
7 on the sleight of hand.
What the hell?
Sleight of hand.
Thief.
That's his. Yeah.
That's my expertise.
You as soon as he's amazed at the card changing, and before he has a minute to study it further, you scoop it up, and the card is gone, and you just kind of sit forward again, and he kind of like looks at you and gives a bit of a nod. Emmett, you even see he's now kind of like okay, got it. He's much more respectful all of a sudden. He kind of like looks around a bit nervously. They were going to jump to you in the kitchen for a moment. So you get an order and you push into the kitchen.
You walk
there
into the fucking
is
kitchen,
like
dude.
4 or
Jesus
5
Christ.
guys. There's like making stuff. There's stuff everywhere. It's a busy ass kitchen. You walk in and there's just guys everywhere. People are even kind of pushing past you, coming in and out. What are you doing? You like enter the door and you're just standing there right now.
Hey, gentlemen, this is literally my first day work, and I
Oh my God, you're going with it.
I spoke with the owner. I've got 6 orders of drinks, and 3 orders of meat, fine meat, preferably red steak, and
okay.
I have the coin for it already. I understand that oftentimes guests pay afterward, but I
see kind of behind this like mountain of dishes in this sink.
What is happening?
Before you just saw like a chef hat sticking up, and you see leaning out from behind of it is this huge it's an ogre. There's this dude with this big kind of like sunken underbite. He's all like sweaty and greasy. He's got like black marks on his face and his hands. He's got this big apron that's just got all kinds of stains and stuff on it. He works in the kitchen. He leans out from behind. He's just like, you're wasting time. Drinks are at the bar. This is the kitchen.
Yes, sir. I'll go back to the bar. Thank you. I go to the bar.
Waves a ladle at you and like goes off, and he just begins back about what he's doing.
All right, I go to the bathroom. I disguise self as a sailor.
Okay.
What the fuck is it?
And
you leave the kitchen, walk back to the bathroom, disguise yourself again.
I walk back over to the bar and I go, "Hey, listen, I've got some buddies over on a table here. I'd love to surprise them with some drink and some food. Could I purchase a couple of rounds of drink and a couple of rounds of food for this table? I think let's go 1 round of meat for each of them and 2 rounds of drinks. And you could just tell them it's on the house.
1 round of meat.
And
1 round of meat.
Who am I sending this to exactly?
The
Table
table
10.
over there, please. Table 10, I believe.
Table 10.
I believe it's the 10th.
Yeah, 10 silver and we'll get the order in.
Sweet Jesus.
Can I get some help out here? He's
my
hollering to
God.
some kitchen people. Back at the table. You guys, he
Kind of walk back to the
kinda-
bathroom, go back to server mode.
Okay. You're sure. So this guy is still Otto is sitting there with you two at the table still. It's like, if only again, this is all nonsensical conversation, but thieves can't still happening 7. And he says that he's fairly new. He's heard of Declan, never met him in person, but he can try and arrange something. What do you need?
What are you guys what are you guys saying?
Again, just kind of look to you and says, Don't worry about it. Maybe it's best if you don't know. And he gives you like one of those pats on the cheek.
It's not nice. I'm gonna put my I'm gonna put my arm on. I'm gonna put my arm on Emmett's shoulder. To try to do my best to stay his. I'm gonna say, careful to Otto. Careful. He doesn't like. Yeah, he's got a personal space stuff. And Thieves Can. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna tell him that. We're just gonna tell him that I specifically have something to give Declan that I don't trust anyone else to give. Yeah. See if there's any way anywhere or when that he knows where I might be able to.
Sure. Go ahead and make a persuade. You can see him hesitate for a moment. He seems like he wants to say something next, but you can also tell it's kind of one of those like, I've been told this, but he's already he's warmed up to you enough. You're having a good conversation with him. So go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage. He's pretty trusting, and at the very least, you have pulled rank on him.
That's a 14 plus 4, so that's an 18, and that's a 10 plus 4, it's a 14.
So 18. He hesitates for a moment, and again, you can see him like look around a bit sheepishly, and he kind of shifts in place, and then signs out that he's not certain if he doesn't have that kind of pull to just get Declan to be somewhere. However, he'll give you. He says you can probably, if you're trying to deliver something to him, you can always check at one of his storehouses.
Yeah, awesome. Storehouses. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's going to ask which one you want to go to.
You know, I don't know, the one...
Like, which one are you going to leave it at, so to speak?
I guess the one... I don't know, man, the biggest one? I don't know, the busiest one?
Well...
what do you think? Which storehouse do you think is the one most likely for him to visit?
He makes rounds. He makes rounds all the time between pickups and drop-offs at various locations. It depends on what you're moving.
Something small and discreet.
He says he knows of a place outside of the city. He mentions there's a small abandoned cottage.
Okay. All right.
He asks for your map and says he can mark it for you if you need it.
Oh.
All right. I take the map out.
Okay.
I guess
takes the map from you briefly, and he marks it and rolls it back up and just pushes it back to you.
Is it the same?
He marked Emmett's map, so which you saw,
right.
But
yes,
it's the same cottage.
All right, so I nod my head.
Oh my god! So I saw him mark the map. This is all I know.
You see, like they're having a weird conversation.
Yes.
You see Seven give a map. He gets the map, marks the cottage, and hands it back to Seven.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna thank him.
Yeah.
Ask him.
He says he'll do what he can. And no promises. He said, but it may take a couple of days. But feel free to leave it there, and he'll send word up the chain, and I'm sure the pickup will happen sometime.
Okay. Well, all right.
He'll kind of stand up for a moment, and he looks at both of you. He's like, "Right. Well, have a lovely afternoon, gentlemen."
You do the same
too.
He kind of turns and puts his hood up and leaves.
Do I think that motherfucker was lying to me at all?
You can insight check him. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
Was he lying?
I walk up with a bunch of beer and 3 plates of food.
You gonna guide me?
This guy shows up with drinks and food. He did guide you, so go ahead. Insight check. You get added a D4 to it.
Inside check with a D4. 17.
Okay. Yeah.
And let's see, that's a 2. So it's
19.
19
plus whatever your insight is.
Insight is +2, so that's 21.
Okay. No, it seems like he was setting up. You know enough to this dude is an entry level guy. You've worked with and seen plenty of people that are way higher ranking than him. You fooled him into you being a much higher rank, which means he'd be looking to get himself in big trouble or killed if he was bullshitting you. According to Otto, he just arranged a drop. This stuff happens all the time. Sure, no problem. I'll send word you're making this important drop that needs to go directly to Declan. And
why did he mark that
storehouse?
cottage? 7.
Apparently, I'm gonna lean in and whisper just in case there's any, eavesdroppers. That
they make a perception check for me too, just as you, because your whole thing is you're just floating around as this incognito, several changing people. I'll make 2 perception checks for me and just keep those in mind. Continue, 7.
Apparently, that cottage is a front. It's a drop off point. It's a point. It belongs to Declan in some capacity. And if we're gonna leave anything for Declan, that's where he'll be at
we
some
need to
point.
get there then, as soon as possible.
Yeah, fucking Jet, dude.
Well, send word to
Maybe
Jet. We should just trust his leads.
Fuck, he doesn't know Owly. Shit,
No.
I would send Owly to catch up to him, but he wouldn't know. The fucking bird would just show up.
What are your checks?
Unless, what's that, Seth?
What did you get on your perception, Dave?
2 13s.
Okay. As you've been scouting around, it's been pretty normal. You have a decent grasp. You can't be certain, but you know you've been diligent in like this whole ruse that you've been putting on was to kind of keep an eye out if any funny business was happening around. There haven't been a ton of people coming in and out besides those who were already here or people who have come in are just getting drinks and food like normal. So best you can tell, this is the only guy that came in for this purpose.
Okay.
All right, so we need to get to the cottage. We need to warn Jet. I don't think Jet realizes what he's walking into.
I don't think
and
so
I don't know
either.
how far ahead of us he is.
Did he go to the cottage? I thought he was just looking for the boys.
Correct.
All right,
Wait,
I thought he was
here.
going to the cottage.
We stop at the Free League, give Obkrin word to tell Jet what we know. We head to the cottage immediately.
I think we should try to bring Jet with us
I mean,
If we can find. Oh.
if we could find him.
if we can find him,
You're
sure.
fine.
If we can find him, sure. Either way, I think we need to go.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't touch the food or the beer, and I start walking out.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to.
You see them kind of get up and leave. Dave, what do you?
I'm gonna try a stealth outside just to be on the safe side.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna lean in on Emmett and say I'm gonna try to sneak out of the back and meet you around front. Just.
I'll meet you back at the Free League.
Okay.
I take
Seven,
the beers.
7. Give me your hat.
Oh.
Look at the
Yeah,
tables around that table. Kind of pass out the beers to random people. I go, hey, if you want it, here it is. I gave out all this beer.
Sure.
I put down 2 plates of food on a table. Hey,
Yep.
this is free from the kitchen. Just letting you guys know. Thank you. I
Plenty
take
of-
1 plate for
Plenty
myself.
of happy smiles, and everyone is enjoying their free stuff.
I take one handful of the meat from one of the plates and
Okay.
just walk out with a handful of meat.
Okay, this is free. See ya.
No, because I passed out 2 of the plates and there were 3
Okay.
plates.
Okay.
So on
sure.
the 3rd plate, I just
You
grab
just-
the meat from it and
Yeah,
walk
you
out
just
with
grab
it.
it and you're just holding like a couple of smoked sausages. Like, what's
Yeah,
up?
You know?
solid.
Day's adventures as a waiter is just like I'm waiting because like whatever happened, that was I need that more.
So incognito. No,
Oh,
on top of well laid plans and me unable to roll into double digits, no one is.
Yes.
No one's scoping you guys out.
We're so stealthy.
Hey,
Um,
nice.
I walk outside and I kind of wait for Day to join me, I guess, if he's going to.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I walk outside. I look
Some time
around for them.
passes and you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you meet up even if it's like not necessarily right outside the building, but you
Right.
wander off and on the way back to the hall you meet up again. He's just
I explained
holding-
to Day everything that we just learned
Yeah.
about
okay.
the shack.
They
Yeah.
fill you in
Yeah.
on that. You come to your league hall.
I'd like to
not a lot of
leave
people
if
here.
Obkrin's there, I'd leave a note just to like tell Jet that we're headed to the cottage, basically.
Okay. Yeah, he's not back. Like when Jet told you that he was gone, he's still out doing whatever he's doing.
Right,
He
right,
did
right.
mention that he was helping the captain and some stuff. So he's busy. He's doing stuff. But you leave a note basically saying tell Jet that we're headed to the cottage or whatever.
Confirmation about the cards, and
Okay.
that we're headed to the cottage because of it.
Okay. Fair enough. So you leave that message. That's waiting.
Gentlemen,
And what are you guys doing?
I think we got to go. We need to
agree.
go scope it out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Especially if
go scope.
now Declan may be showing up at some point. We need to get there
Let's
first.
go.
Okay. You guys head out, following your map. You get outside of the city. This would be leaving the city in like the southeast corner. Just
this is the
for
first
your frame of
time
reference.
we've left the city.
Correct. And this is like, I mean, the bog is technically it's not within the city. It's just within the entire walls of Cadwallon, but it's like its own little section that has been walled off because it's just old and overgrown and whatnot.
Is this actually outside the walls?
This is outside the walls of the city.
Oh, snap.
Emmett, you know this too because this like main road out of the city, Cadwallon itself is sitting at the top tip of like a peninsula. So southeast is like going back in towards the like main continent, right? So this main road into the city, if you're not getting here by other means, that's what this is. So you're heading out on like you came in on this road to get back to the city. You left on this road when you left the city.
Right.
You've seen this before. So you're exiting the city to the southeast, and if you kind of dip and turn and go northeast after that, there's this kind of like valley between two mountain ranges, so to speak. So it's hilly and cliffside. There's like forest. It's just surrounding nature leading on this main road to the city. There are people traveling on it. It gets more sparse with people the farther you get. You guys travel for probably a good, I'd say 2 hours just to get out of the city to the gates, and then you're following the road. Like on this
alley out.
Absolutely.
Just have him droning.
Sure.
100 feet.
Okay. So you're just gonna he's with you, and you just have him, droning around. That's fine. I'll even say without you needing to roll, it's well enough that he's keeping an eye out within that 100-foot range, and you kind of get perfect. It gets better every time. He's patrolling around, and you give him the like, hey, come and tell me if you see anything weird. So he's just around. He hasn't come and alerted you this entire time you've been traveling. You're good. So if you guys want to have any discussion, feel free. Otherwise, we can just, jump ahead for time's sake. That's fine. But you just for your own knowledge.
And the
I mean,
it's beautiful.
So that's something too. And mainly probably for Emmett, you've seen this before because you've come and left. Seven and Day, this is probably one of very few, if not the first time you've seen Cadwallon like from a distance like this. And you've been around and you know it's a big city, but getting to see the size of it like on the horizon, it's just this towering spire of a city against this backdrop of just an open sea and far distant mountains. It's truly massive. It's a beacon. I mean, it's known as the Jewel of Laniver, which is like the mystery and lore of this city as a bastion for all of our clash. You're looking at it. You're getting to see why it has the name and reputation that it does. It's seen as like the capital for the entire continent, not just this region. And now you know why. Even as you pass them on the streets, you can see that there are all walks of people. There are merchants and fancy-looking people who are well-dressed. There are people who look very worn and dusty and traveled from super far. They look like they're coming to the city. Some people are seeking it as a haven. I mean, it's a beacon for a reason. And this might be one of the first times that you're seeing that. Bit of a familiar sight
to this site
for you, right?
It's crazy, isn't it? Did you think that mere weeks ago we would be here?
No.
Not even a little.
No, man, how could I see this coming? Any of it.
Has your god spoken to you at all?
It's private.
No.
Pretty personal. What about you?
Okay.
Has your god spoken to you?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
The other notable thing you guys see as you're taking all this in is like just to the side of the city, just looming in the air, like this just wispy smoke line is that storm. Now not being underneath it, it's a lot harder to notice, but you know what it is, and it's just this almost like scar across the skyline. There's just this deep black cloud that's just hanging near the city.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, you know what that is, but it's kind of like you've been underneath it all this time and seen it. You know what it is, but seeing it from far away, you realize like how it's just another like, oh yeah, it's a thing. Even from this far up, you can see it. It'd be like a storm cloud, but it's so contained. There's just this little thin back line against the visage of the city itself.
Seven, you're not wrong. It's quite beautiful. If I didn't know what it was, I'd almost paint it. I can't paint, by the way, but if I could.
It's also it's quite comfortable. There's a difference between you guys being in the bog and how just like thick and heavy it is there with humidity and just overgrown jungle and everything else. It's like early to mid spring. It's quite nice. It's like it's temperate. It's cool. There's like a soft breeze. That's kind of refreshing. It's nice. You in particular, Day, this is the kind of escape you seek from the city all the time, and now you're out in it. This is a welcome change of pace for you. This is the kind of world that you want to be a part of, and this is you feel more at home here than you ever have in the city.
Will Day be frolicking at all?
I don't know that he'd be frolicking, but
minimal frolicking from me.
What's that? Just like a.
I'm sure he seems focused on what's going on. His mind's probably busy, but I imagine you can probably see a notable change in his countenance. He seems comfortable out here more than he has since you've walked around in the city with him. He's just comfortable. Following the markings on this map, you eventually cut through off of the main road and turn on more of like kind of a like dirt path. Off to the side. It's still well worn enough that it's traveled, but you can see it's getting, you're like turning off and heading more northeast towards the woods. And after about another half hour, 45 minutes of travel, you start seeing how there's more like ravines and cliff faces that you're kind of cutting through following this map. Eventually, it looks like the map even kind of has like a turn going to where this cottage is supposed to be. And you're having to actually like climb up some of these cliff facings. It's tough to get through, but you do easily. Not like you couldn't really get a cart through here, or it'd be a lot of work to get a cart through here. You'd have to stick on these paths, and even then it's kind of dangerous because the path is winding through all these trees and stuff, and there's like huge, tall, 30, 40, 50 foot cliffs. You'd be taking a cart down a ravine. People could probably get jumped here and stuff all the time. But this is also one of those like, if you didn't have a map to follow to know where you were going, you could see how easily it would be to just wander around out here. These aren't like prominent roads or paths. These are much more seldom used. Eventually, you guys get kind of atop one of these, plateaus, so to speak, kind of even with some of the tree line. And Allie does come down to you, Seven, and he kind of like signals and looks off ahead, and then like looks back to you, kind of giving you the idea of like there's something up ahead that way.
A little something is coming.
Not so much a warning of like he doesn't seem urgent, like oh no, it's more like a hey, I see something over there. Not like there's people or you've seen him be urgent before, and this isn't like someone's around. This is just like a hey, there's something up ahead.
Hey guys, Allie says there's something up ahead.
Let's follow.
He doesn't seem urgent about it.
You all look ahead and can see like far off, like a break in the trees where you can make out like a shingled thatched roof that's also kind of overgrown. You can see the cottage far up ahead.
Is it there, standing still?
There's just this cottage. Yeah, there's a cottage, but like you make out just the top of it because there's trees and like it's stepped down essentially, where you guys are like up on the top of this ravine, and it's it slowly slopes down as it like breaks and turns. So it'd be like going down a mountain path or something, like hiking. And then, but you can see like off, kind of shrouded in the trees and everything else, there's a bit of a clearing, and you can make out the top. There's like a little small standalone shack. There's the main building. There's like what looks like a little well or something, some like bushes here and there and trees and stuff. But you can see that area up ahead, and it's the cottage that is marked on your maps.
Well,
here.
What's
I'll
the
show you.
Are we?
Oh snap!
Hey,
Yeah, you guys are close enough. We'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of following, right?
Are we gonna stealth there? Or are we gonna? Oh, what's that? Oh, look at this.
Seth, this is amazing, dude. What is that about?
Thank you. I actually changed it up a little bit. We went hand drawn this week.
Yeah, I
The
feel like
oldest of schools.
Figure out where you guys are.
Hand drawn map.
Man, I gotta. Sleeve's too big. This is coming off, so I don't knock shit over.
What's too big?
Can you guys see yourselves there? If I place you there, yeah, sweet. You guys are like up at the top of this ravine, essentially.
Oh.
So each one of these, like all these, take those as like 10 to 15 foot inclines where you're like stepping down, right? So this is like the top, and it slopes down. Over here, where I've got the black piece of paper, the cottage is way over here. You can see that, but at least the top of it. So you know, like scaling down into this is where the map is.
Cool. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is
so
going.
This is like this would
down
be
a
a,
ravine,
you have
basically.
to get closer to see, like, you know what I mean, because you're elevated and there's so you have to get closer to get a better view of what's going on.
And where's the cottage?
The cottage is like down over here.
Okay, cool.
You can only make out, like, you know it's there because you can see the top hat, like you can see the roof and some of the structure, so you know it's there. You just haven't gotten down there to see what's going on.
7, I think this is your realm of expertise, right?
Well, I'd imagine a deck drop-off spot, or a deck house of any kind, controlled territory.
And just for scale, as you guys can see down for reference, you guys are probably close to, like, from down where the cottage is, you guys are a good 60 to 80 feet up, like each little incline. So each get, like, from here to here is probably 15 feet. Here to here is another 10. Here to here is maybe 20 feet. So like it's stepping down as you go, just for reference.
Scaling down.
Are there no trees, or?
There are trees here and there, but it's more like rocky, and it's like parts of it are obscured because you can't see, because it's just down in the middle of this valley. Like the far other side is literally like a small cottage in the middle of a valley where a road is.
From this position right now, I see no fires, no sign of life.
No, I mean, you don't see nobody's moving around. You don't hear anything. All you've made out so far is you've crested this eave, and you can see the roof. It's daytime, so it's also not like it's obscured, so to speak.
Yeah,
but curious. You have to get closer to see what's going on.
Cool. I mean,
and it's up to you how you want to do that.
I'm gonna start scaling down, I guess.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
One ravine at a time.
You guys are just.
I cast mold earth in front of me, kind of even out the ground a little bit.
Oh boy.
Sure. That's fine. That's easy enough. It's a cantrip as well, so you do that. You all are scaling down this mountain a bit. You get a little closer. Gonna keep going?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of.
Are we we're just going towards? Is the plan like getting close until you see?
Wait, yeah. Can I like flank around and try to stealth?
Absolutely. Which way do you want to go? You want to like come this way?
Wait, which way? Oh yeah.
Like bottom of the screen, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get closer to understand what's even happening. I mean, if I don't see anything suspicious.
Absolutely. So, you guys are creeping forward. Why don't you, Emmett, give me perception? You, Day, give me perception. And I need stealth from you, 7, as you're sneaking over.
20 total.
Oh wow, 11 total.
Oh.
Okay.
Hang on, let me get rid of the owls. And come on, part of the dice. That is a 17. Oh, God damn it, camera.
I mean, then don't take. These are not like sheer steep cliff faces. It's rough rock. It'd be like hiking up a mountain, right?
Yeah.
Like it's traversable. You can't, of course, like full sprint. It'd be tricky to just haul ass through here. But you can. You're navigating okay. It's not too bad. You're just out in the wilderness. So 20 for Day. 11. What was your stealth?
Plus 5, so that's 22.
22. Okay. Fairly hidden. Emmett, you can see. Let me make sure. Yeah.
22 is a fairly hidden. How dare you?
Don't take the.
How very dare you?
You feel 22 hidden. Of course, don't take the interior into account yet because you're not inside of it. But
yeah.
You can see the actual shape of the structure. The back half of it, you can see this big stone chimney. There's no smoke or anything coming out of it. You can tell there is like a fireplace or something, and you can make out there's like windows on the front, and around the side it seems like where there's a door essentially. So coming from like the very top off the map where you can't really see, seems like the front of this cottage. So you imagine the door is going to be on that side.
Right. Do I see any markings as I scale down? Just kind of like a like footprints or
no, you don't. It doesn't. No, it just looks like wilderness. Like there's no obvious activity of like other people being around. You notice the cottage as well. You can see the well and another small building, and you can actually see. I'm seeing how well it translates. Yeah, it translates. You see that, which is quite literal. If you can see what that is.
Is that a dead dude?
That is a dead guy.
I think that's a dead guy.
So you see a person like slumped against a rock with a few arrows sticking out of them.
I message Emmett. Hey, you see this dead guy over here next to this rock? I point over there. I message 7. Hey, dead guy. Point.
Must have missed
that. He points it out, and you all see a body.
Oh boy.
Oh, what row is it?
I try to stealth.
I asked back.
Yeah. Do I recognize it?
Not from this far away.
I want to get close.
It's a dead body. Okay. So you're gonna
can I get my owl to kind of hover over there?
Absolutely. Go ahead and do perception with your owl. So it'll be at advantage +3.
At advantage +3. Give me those peepers, Owlie. We're having a hoot of a time. We're having a hoot of a time. 18 motherfuckers.
Wow.
21.
+3 was 21, and the 13 is 16.
So 21.
16. Yeah.
Allie's fly above, scouting everything out. What you notice through Allie is that. Also isn't great.
You can't see this stupid Discord.
There isn't. Here, I'll scoot it up a bit. Now you guys can see pretty good.
First,
you make
Seth,
out.
I love this, dude. You're the fucking best, Seth.
Dude.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So
no wonder you drew
can
it.
See...
You wanted to draw dead bodies.
I mean, yeah. When you needed custom, right? Do it yourself.
Yeah.
You can see there is a cart with a horse. There is a guy sitting up like in the bench seat who is also full of arrows. The horse is full of arrows, and there's another body of a female falling out of the back of the cart that is also full of arrows.
Ew, no.
3 dead bodies, 1 in the seat, arrowed. Lady arrowed. The horse got it too. That's particularly nasty. Not cool.
Like this whole they just got like peppered with a volley of arrows.
Not cool. Whoever did that. Not cool.
I'm gonna start making way towards the body. Have I caught wind or like sight of this cart or anything?
As you're here and like down and approaching this guy, you can see the cart over there too. It's kind of like a.
Can I stay on this ridge if there's like 10 feet drop or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to stay like up here?
Yeah, just in case. Just like walking around.
That's fine. You can see the guy. I mean, he looks like a normal. He looks like just a normal citizen dude. Like he looks like anybody you'd pass on the streets at Cadwallon. Only he's got like 3 arrows out of his chest.
All right, I'm jumping down. I'm jumping down. Okay. I want to check his body. So obviously, vital signs and through his pockets, maybe a card, since I've seen a card a couple times. Just through him and that sort of stuff.
Okay, give me a medicine check first, as you're trying to check our vitals or anything.
I have rolled so many 6s. It's an 8.
Okay. I mean, he seems dead. He's not breathing. He's not moving. He's not warm to the touch either. Right. So this doesn't seem. I mean, it's recent enough that he's not like, his body has
disgusting.
He's not rotting. Right. Animals haven't like torn him apart or anything. It's fairly recent, but not like within the last couple hours recent. Maybe in the last day or so, but it's hard to tell.
He's dead, Jim.
He's definitely dead. I kind of like look at Day.
Yeah, Emmett, what's up?
Fresh, within the last day. He's not rotted Seriously? Or anything.
Okay, we should maybe hide. What do you think?
Go for it. I'm gonna try and find out more. Can I? Do I find anything in his pockets, like any identifying marks?
Give me an investigation check.
Oof, mama. Ooh, 18.
Mama.
18. Searching him, you don't really find anything. He has about 12 gold pieces in his pocket.
Those are mine.
As well as he has a bronze ring on his left hand. Seemingly a wedding ring.
A wedding ring.
Yeah, I want to sneak up closer to the cart, and see if I can't. Wait, could I tell through Owly if I recognize them? No, right?
You can try and see. You kind of did a general flyby first. If you want to like get closer and look through
Yeah,
Owly, go for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get
So
closer
give
as
me
me.
I'm imagining he's still just like 30 feet or so above. Give me another perception check. So with him, it's at advantage +3.
Okay, time for a little perception. 17. That's 20.
So a 20.
And 16. That's 19.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like, again, you can kind of tell it probably came from like the cliffside up where you guys are, because you can tell it's elevated, and they're all like on the same side. So you can kind of guess where they got just riddled with. It looks like they were also leaving, so it looks like they weren't approaching this cottage. They were going away from it. Got shot at by a whole bunch of arrows. Definitely dead. Horse is dead. Guy's dead. Lady's dead. And you recognize that lady. That's Yashel.
Oh.
I'm gonna start making my way towards the cart.
Okay.
Oh, balls.
Once you walk over to the cart, you get here.
I pulled that
and
wedding ring, just so you know.
That's fine. You notice now the woman who is laying there. You start to recognize the outfit and the hair, and it's Yashel.
Shit. I run up to her and check her vitals.
Okay. Medicine check.
Yeah, I'm gonna guidance myself this time.
And I'm gonna run down there. Now I see Emmett's there, and I'm gonna loot the bodies.
Okay.
Loot those bodies.
What'd you get on the investigation? I'm sorry.
Medicine? 17
medicine,
total.
Okay. Yeah. More without a doubt on this one. It's the same thing. I mean, she's got like a couple arrows in her shoulder blade in the back. It seems like she may have either been riding in the cart, even where she's at, may have been like she might have possibly been tipped off at the last second and like jumped and tried to flee. Unfortunately in vain, and got hit with a bunch of arrows in the back. She's got like 4 arrows in her, and she is dead.
Anything on her? Any in her pockets or anything? I'm not checking everyone else. I'm just checking her.
Yeah. You go ahead and roll investigation as you're checking the guy, 7. You don't really find anything on her of note. No money, nothing. She's just, if she did have something, maybe it's already been taken.
Another 17, dude.
Okay.
Investigation is 17 plus 1 says fucking.
The guy's pretty much just slumped and still in this bench seat of the cart. He's like slumped to the side a little bit where the cart has kind of collapsed and fallen down. He's got an arrow like in the neck, another one in between the ribs. Again, all on like his left side. You could tell it came from like the cliffside in these ravines. But you don't find anything on him.
Waste of
either he didn't have it or it's already been taken. You don't know.
Anything in the cart itself? Like any like what they were carrying?
There's like a barrel, there's a cup, there's like a small wooden box with a couple blankets like thrown over it. You can see a bit of trail of like blood that's pulled over from the guy, as well as I mean it looks like they got hit and tried to leave. Maybe she got hit in the back of the cart and tried to walk away and then collapsed. Hard to tell.
What's in the box? I go to the box.
You open up the box or check the barrel, and there's nothing. They're empty.
Just empty. Okay.
What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? I put them back, I guess.
Yeah, I mean you sort through, but you don't see anything. Dave, have you been doing anything? You just chilling up here, so.
I'd like to run over to the cottage.
Okay. So as they're searching all this, you're gonna scale down and get to the cottage.
Yeah. I cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. You are invisible, sir. And the door's there. It's shut, but you're gonna try it.
I go ahead and walk in.
Okay. Door is open. You walk in. As you get inside, you can see it's not in use. It's not super active, but there's a small table. You can see a counter with a couple different like baskets and small jars and cups and things on it. It's almost like a quick little. Not necessarily. You could live here for a day or two if you needed to, but it's not active. This is old and abandoned, as you've been told. There is the stone fireplace with some just like old charcoal in it from fires in the past. And even searching around, there are 2 rooms, both with beds and like an armchair. Like it's pretty normal stuff, but everything's just old and musty, and it's just an old abandoned house. If you want to really search the place, give me an investigation check.
Yeah. Nat 1, baby.
Yeah. Looks like an old abandoned cottage. It's kind of gross and dusty here. Smells like an old book, but you don't find it. It looks normal. You don't see anything. There's no footprints, no sign of struggle or anything. You don't find anything of note at all in this place.
7. What do you think? Sorry.
What the hell could possibly happen? You think they got too close? I mean, this is a very dangerous place to be when the wrong kinds of people are here, and it seems like they were caught unawares. Also, I doubt that anyone besides the deck would kill them here.
Right.
No one
Especially
would be
if
that
this is
stupid.
a known dropout place.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we don't know their dealings with the deck.
None. We'll start making my way to the cottage.
Okay.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. You guys begin heading over. You pass a well, and you can see there's a small like outhouse, and there's this main building. You're just gonna keep heading.
I would like to look down the well, just to get, like, out of curiosity.
Okay. You glance in. It's a well. It's
Cool.
dark and deep. Even with your dark vision, you can't see the bottom.
Okay.
Meaning it's a pretty deep well. But it's just a regular well. There's like the crank with the bucket, and the bucket's up at the top right now. It's just an old well.
Can I pick up a rock and throw it in?
Yeah, you toss the rock.
So I hear a
yeah,
splash?
I mean,
or a...
you do eventually hear a splash. Like a 3-4 second count. Your best estimation is the well's about 100 feet down, if not more than that. And
can I touch the the stone? I'm gonna touch the stones just like around it, like just I don't know if there's something loose. If there's, I'm just doing my normal thing.
Yeah, you trace it. They're just kind of covered in like moss and vines and stuff. It works like this was built, obviously, but you might break like one of the stones off, but that's just like that's not weird. It's not like a loose, it doesn't reveal a button or something crazy. Like it's just it seems pretty normal, right? Like it's
Same with the outhouse.
Okay. The door is already kind of cracked open, and I mean it's an outhouse. It smells gross. It's not like horrible, but it's an outhouse. It's pretty standard fare. Like nothing seems weird right now.
Okay. To the wonderful, to the cottage.
Okay. Door's already
I'm in
open
there
as you
and
guys
invisible, by the way.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
You guys round the corner. The door is already open. I mean, it was enough to where you guys saw they like descend and go this way and then disappear.
Any markings around the outside? Any like arrow marks?
Give me a perception check.
13.
No, I mean this is just old,
right.
kind of.
So it didn't look like the cottage got attacked, from what I can tell.
No.
It just looked like they got attacked.
No, like you saw it just looked like a volley of arrows hit the cart, and then the dude also had like. The dude you found by the rock didn't like. There was no like trail of him being dragged there or like stumbling there. It looks like he just slumped over against this rock and is dead.
Are they all Jagarans?
No, the guys look like regular guys, and then I mean, just Yashel's the only one that you recognize, and that's only because you've seen her before.
Right.
But they all look like normal citizens of. You guys enter this home, and you can see. Just as I described today, and there's just a table. There's like this counter in the corner that's got plates and cups, like a couple of jars of stuff.
Gonna start looking around for something like lifting up everything I can see, touching the walls. Yeah. If there's anything.
Investigation from both of you.
Yeah, I want to get in there and check for anything that might yell deck.
Sure.
Yeah. So is it a
guidancing the boy? Me, not
that is a just fucking me. Daddy is back in full effect. Oh, don't slide.
Nat 20.
Fucking nat 20.
Get the hell. I got a 16. I was so excited.
Fucking Daddy. Fucking last week. The dice were cold. I've refound the heart of the die.
Yes,
you both spend some time kind of searching this place. And 7, you find it first and go to point it out. And Emmett, I mean, you picked up on it too. He just gets the jump on you.
Way faster.
You guys can see that there is a big hatch. There's like a rug underneath the table, like just an area rug, but you lift it up and look, and there is a like hatch hidden underneath it.
I pull the table away.
Sure, you guys move all the chairs and stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
And there's this hatch. You go to try and lift it, and it doesn't budge. You can see a keyhole, so presumably it's locked. There's like a little rope handle, but it's locked.
I pull out my keys.
Key?
Yeah,
Watch
all
out,
of them.
keys.
And the ring. I have the ring of like 3 keys, right?
Yeah, you simultaneously both like you see that pull, it doesn't give, and you both pull out the same key ring.
We look at each other.
Literally duplicated it and get the same
keys.
Keys.
Exactly.
Keys. I start trying them.
Okay, you try through a few of these keys. None of them seem to fit. They all actually seem too large, and they don't fit into the keyhole.
Could this be a trap?
What about the skeleton key? Give me. How much?
Skeleton key is actually even bigger than the other 2 keys.
Gotcha.
They're all too large. Skeleton key is the biggest of this key ring, but none of them fit.
Let me. We have 10 minutes. You think?
I'll watch outside. A voice said from nowhere.
You hear Day's voice say, "I'll watch outside," and looking around. You don't see him.
Sick. I'm gonna start casting Identify as a ritual spell.
Do you want to just be like right outside the door, or around? Where do you want to be?
Right in the from the camera view, the lower right hand corner. I'll keep post right there.
Over here.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Sweet.
Thanks.
On
Go
the
ahead and make a perception check for me.
Perception?
Yes, because you're keeping an eye out. Go ahead, Emmett.
On the lock, I'm just gonna start casting Identify as a ritual spell. I go on one knee and I put a hand over the lock itself, and I start praying to Diragosta.
14 total.
14 total. So far, you don't see anything. I mean, you're keeping an eye out, but nothing alerts you. I'll let you know. Your ritual spell finishes, and you... it's a lock.
Cool.
No magical properties through that spell, but it's a lock.
All right. I'm gonna ask Allie also to keep lookout.
Okay.
And I'm going to thieves tool it.
Perfect. So give me a perception check for your owl first, as he's looking.
I'm mending those things.
You did.
Oh, yeah, you fixed my thieves tools. Thank you, Daddy.
Sick.
Hang on. All right, come on. Perception. That's 11 plus 3. That's 14. Advantage or?
Yeah, for the owl, you have advantage, and it's a plus
owl,
3 total because it's just
13.
He's got keen
16.
sight.
16.
16 total, or with the plus 3?
16 with the plus 3.
Okay. Wait. So 16 total or a 19?
Yes. No, 6. Sorry, I rolled a 13.
16 is the total.
16
Got
total,
it.
Sorry.
Okay.
My brain can only do one thing at a time.
Well,
we're learning.
Barely.
Yeah. Okay. Hallie's
Not
flying
barely.
around in your room. Right. So go ahead and give me your lockpick attempt. So this will be your
That
tools check.
18. Lockpick is also my jammy.
It is, and I'll go ahead and tell you with an 18, you're fine. 18 plus stuff. You pick around a bit, and sure enough, click, that thing is open. You pop the lock, no problem. You and Emmett, you get Emmett's help, and you lift this door up, and it just, and there is about 3 or 4 of these like big wooden crates that you have seen before, just like in the underground place.
Like the kid crates.
Not those, not that big. These are like the crates that you guys saw in the other little like underground hideout where you guys were. Where
I'd like to walk around the other side of the house and take a look down the ravines.
Like
ravines.
The
this
ravine?
Like, or the ravines, like down toward the left of the camera left. Yeah, that direction. Just want to take a look.
Give me another look.
Give you another look, eh?
Yeah.
12 total.
Okay. Still nothing really warns you about anything.
Cool.
I'll say this much though. With the 12, you can see Owlie, who's been doing rounds, is coming back from this direction, and it's like coming towards the house. It looks like he's coming. He's doing. You've seen him fly around when he's scoping stuff out. It seems like he has seen something because he's flying at you with a purpose. You guys, after you it's just like down on the floor. It's like a little bitty. You hop down into this little like hollowed out space where these crates are. Start pulling them open.
Yeah.
And you find several silvered short swords, like daggers. It's the same stuff.
Okay.
It's the same stuff.
Oh man, then I'm dumping it, and I'm gonna look at the bottom and see if any of my shit's in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna instinctively take, like before, a handful.
What? Yeah, and whatever I can pocket this time.
Day, you can hear all this like clanging and stuff being sorted around from inside. I mean, it's not like super loud, but you hear them like sorting through stuff. And you've done that / heard that before. You know what that sounds like. You pocket a couple. Yeah, you pocket some stuff just like before. Emmett, you're looking for your stuff. Give me a investigation check.
I'm gonna guidance myself, dear Agosta. You're a dick. You won't answer me, but help me anyways.
I wish there was a god that stole things too.
Was there? What is this investigation? That's a 7 total.
Okay. You don't find any of your stuff. Again, there's no money here.
Yeah.
Mostly everything you find it's like a small mix of weapons. This one has a lot more. The first place you searched had way more weapons. This one has like maybe only 6 to 8 weapons.
Okay.
Between daggers and swords and short swords and stuff like that.
What's the
and then you find
thing to pocket?
There are several like silvered chains,
rings,
bracelets, rings.
Yeah.
There's it's easy enough. You guys grab a few fistfuls of that. I'll give you I'll put a value to those afterwards. But you're just loading up on silver jewelry and stuff at this point. You all at this time, as you're looting up, are kind of interrupted. And Day, you hear this as Allie like flies past you and seems to circle around the house, and lets out a couple of like owl noises.
Oh shit!
He's calling out, like an alert. It's enough to be like, hey, something is coming.
Have we ever heard that before?
We're not alone. Also, I gave the owl blue eyes. Side note.
I love it.
I would then. Is there nothing else down here? It's just these boxes of
again, the little cutout under the floor is like this. Like it was just covered by the table and the rug, so it's not like a major.
It's not huge.
It's not like huge underground. It's like a little hole that's 3 or 4 feet deep that is just enough to hide these boxes. Like you jump in and it's maybe up to like a little above your waist height, right? Just enough to hide these boxes, but you like sort through them and you're gathering stuff. You can hear the shrieking happening. Not horrible, but these just sharp owl.
I'm gonna go back upstairs and just kind of go to the nearest window. Like 7, we should bar this off. Dave, can you hear me? Are you here?
He's just calling literally out loud to you as they quit. Like Dave can hear me. You're just outside the cottage, so yes, you can hear him.
Put on your cloak.
Hey, what's up?
Put on your cloak.
I message him.
He's been wearing the cloak the whole time.
If you're
traveling with him for hours, he's wearing the cloak.
If you're hidden, don't worry about it. But I think there's something coming. We should hide up in this house just in case, right?
I would not suggest boxing ourselves in.
I'm not very.
Can we get on top of the house?
What?
They're gonna see us.
I mean, you'd have to climb up to it, so we'll get there. You see Owlie 7 like rush in through the opening in the door and kind of like lands on you, and I mean he's just looking. You know enough that it's you've given him the commands to like let me know if something's coming. He's alerting you something is in the area.
Oh god!
This is not a hey I found a cottage. This is a something is around.
There's something's a coming.
Allie, did you see the deck?
Kind of bunker down and like there are windows facing this way, and you look out. You and 7 both probably. Just go ahead and make perception checks for me. Day, you can as well.
Oh boy, I'm a good guidance.
Oh boy,
Getting kind of scared.
19 total.
Okay.
Dude, 8, fucking 1.
7.
8. I don't know why the fucking plus perception. So it's 2. It's a 20.
You guys can't see much because of just the way it's pitched and elevated from the windows. You can really only see well to like the second rise here. Day, you can see well enough that you can see and hear movement coming from the far corner up, kind of from where you guys came from. And the first thing that you notice is 2 very large beasts, essentially, jump down one ravine and kind of are like stalking around, like they're looking for something. You can see them sniffing.
We've got 2 large beasts of some sort that
they are wolves the size of a horse.
Oh no!
We got dire wolves on the way.
Holy shit! Okay,
Say, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. Do I know it? Actually, don't know. Have I heard of a dire wolf?
I mean, you've heard of them. I don't know that you've necessarily ever seen of one, but I mean, you know what a wolf is. Wolves are bad.
Yeah.
Packs of wolves are bad to encounter. dire
Do I
wolves
see any
are
people with these wolves?
not right now. You just see these things jump down. They're kind of like bristled out up on their haunches, but they're quiet. But you see them move, and they're like you can see them actively searching for something. They are sniffing heavily at the air and looking around. You just see them leap down from the top.
Balls.
I see them sniffing. I think they're tracking us. I think they already know we're here. We need to do something.
But yeah, like Emmett, you know enough to know that dire wolves are large, aggressive.
Beasts.
It's a mean wolf that's the size of a horse. It's not
it's a large thing.
Like I mean, your size is accurate. Like
6 feet.
That.
God damn.
It's a big freaking wolf.
All right. Well, I'm not going out there. I don't think in the open with equal footing is a good way if they want to fight.
Should we hide in here? Run upstairs? Should we maybe duck into the locked room below the carpet?
Let's close the door and see what happens, right?
Yeah, let's close the door, and if shit gets hairy, we run upstairs or lock ourselves below.
Is there an upstairs? There's no upstairs. It's just
this is one. There's one floor. It's a one-floored.
All right. I don't know why I thought there was an upstairs.
You are invisible, but you can see them kind of sniffing and searching. You see them both kind of head turn towards the cottage and towards where you are. They can't see you. You're invisible. That helps.
Right.
But they are sniffing intently and seem to have picked up a scent. You see them like leap down this 20-foot slide pretty easily, and they're like stalking towards this place. As they do that, you can also see more figures as several other figures slide down from where these wolves came, almost having the wolves like stalk ahead of them. And you can make out these all of them kind of cloaked. You've seen them at the docks before. These seem like people within the deck.
Oh, god damn it.
5 of them?
5 of them that you see right now.
Hey, Annette, are you seeing these possible deck members up here? Looks like we have maybe 5 of them.
He mentions that you do not see them, but you at least hear that information from him, but you see these 2 very large wolves leap down and are kind of like creeping up towards you guys.
No, I can't see them. There's 5. 7. There's 5 deck members outside. To at least 2 of the wolves.
You looking up the window, 7 can see these very big wolves.
All right, so I think hiding is the best course of action.
I can't imagine we can hide from wolves very well, but at least we can get them to a pinch point if they try to come through the door, so we don't have to attack them all.
Wolves kind of like sneaks off, again moving very quietly and kind of keeping just over the edge where it can just see over the ravine, but it is snarling and baring its teeth. It is looking into the cottage, and it seems like it can see you guys through the windows. And it's just a dog at a fence. It is just baring its teeth and growling, and just kind of pacing back and forth up on on that rise.
Good boy, one knows we're here.
You can see them all slowly descending.
Can I open the window?
You can.
Well, I mean, the jig is up. They're going to find us.
Yeah.
Unless, one time.
My hands are on it, but I'm not doing it yet. What? You have an idea?
5 of them. No, that won't fucking work. I was going to cast minor. Whatever.
These things are huge. I think do you recognize any of them?
What are you guys doing? Because they are encroaching upon you, so time is of the essence here.
Do I recognize?
I was just going to cast, minor illusion.
I'm getting ready to jump on this roof.
You can only tell that they're deck guys because you've seen deck members when you have to stand off with Declan. You don't recognize any of them. There's no one in the deck that you recognize other than Declan himself right now, and he's not here.
7, we can use this to our advantage somehow, right? We're trying to pretend that we're trying to get in with them. This is as good as time as any. If it doesn't work, we fight anyways, right?
All right. So I guess we will pretend I'm a deck member and you are
No, you say exactly who you are, right? You say you are 7. You say Declan knows who you are, and you have come looking for him to join back. And if they touch you, or us, or me, or Day, that Declan is the one who's gonna have to. He'll do something about it.
I make my way back into the door to join them.
You still invisible?
Okay. The door is shut right now, and he is still invisible. I mean, the door is shut, but it's not locked. Do you want to just go in?
Yeah.
Okay. You all hear the door creak open. You kind of spin over your shoulder real quick and look.
Yeah, that better be you.
It's me.
All right.
And I get as close to... All right, 7. Bear with me here. I want to remain unnoticed for the time being. And I get as close up behind 7 as possible. So if the dogs smell any extra people, it'll just be another part of 7's smell.
That's fair.
Okay.
So I'm like hugging the back of 7's body with my body as I'm invisible.
Okay. You're like you're right up on him. You can see they all kind of like scan and look around. You see one that like kind of comes forward, does have like a pair of daggers drawn, looking to the cottage, peering in. Like you see him bend low, and he looks in and kind of catches eyes with you, Emmett, and you hear him finally call out, "Hey, come on out. We just want to have a chat."
I'm sure you do. Is Declan with you? He said he would be.
No, he's indisposed. We've come to pick up something he's been looking for, though. Little friend with you?
My friends are all dead outside.
Go ahead and make a deception check for me.
Oh.
Oh god. I'm gonna cast Goddess on myself.
Sure.
19!
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. He kind of like looks around. He like looks over to the cart to his side, and even can see the guy just below him. Okay. Huh. Shame. Suppose saves us some work, but
right.
Fair enough. Why don't you come on out? I'd hate to have to come in and get you myself.
Well, I'm sure that both of us don't want that exactly, so I'd rather take this time to talk real quick about what you're here for. If Declan isn't here himself like he said he would be, I'm kind of curious why he sent you instead.
Well, that's pose bit over your head, huh? And you can see him kind of like he's shouting, talking with you. And you see him like wave his hand up and make a motion.
I wouldn't.
You see the other two guys like draw out and like light a small kind of fire next to them. The two armed with bows at the moment, and they like basically ignite the end of their arrows and just have them kind of drawn, pointed at this cottage. It's like, I guess no need to be hasty, but if you won't come out, I suppose we can just make sure you stay in there.
I'll come out.
Oh.
That'd be a good idea.
Are you willing to talk first?
Oh, that's all we're doing. Just having a chat. Come on out.
I look at 7, who I'm assuming is hiding. And
He is, and you can't see Day, though he's spoken to you, but he's like ducked down behind the window. 7, you can see all of this, and you know enough that some of these guys, you probably recognize a couple of them. The one who is talking, as well as the one over here, were at the docks as well. But it's just a bunch of deck guys and 2 big-ass wolves. But they only seem to be taking note of Emmett. You're hidden down below this windowsill.
Well, okay.
I'm coming out.
Time to talk our way out of this one, or die trying.
I'm
so you're going to exit
towards the door, and as I do,
I'll exit
doing this on my head.
Well,
I see you.
What the fuck am I doing?
I have no idea. Remember, we have a way out of here. I can activate this necklace and we could bounce. Let's try to get as much as we can out of this situation, and if we need to, I say we run instead of fight.
Okay. All right, get ready to cast.
That's very true.
I might cast. Hang on. I'm gonna fucking tap. On my whatever our secret
7.
fucking thing is. Hey, I'm thinking about at some point maybe casting minor illusion or friends
I'm gonna
something.
Hold on. You know what?
Well, they can start that conversation, but
Well, I know. It's gonna go real quick. 7, trust me. I literally said that out loud.
Yeah, so you're just, as he's walking the door, he just, under his breath, says, 7, trust me. And you see him opening, he shuts the door behind him, and you just walk around. You can see, perched up on this cliffside, like up at the edge of it, is just this snarling, huge wolf. You can now see everybody. All the eyes are kind of trained on you. This guy kind of comes over.
What's your name?
That's not important, and we're the ones asking the questions here. Why don't you see him kind of like raising a dagger and waving it at you like a condescending finger. Why don't you be a paladin? Put that mace and your shield down for me.
I have what you want, and it's inside. But I've casted a spell on him. He will die if I die. The spell will not go away until I tell it to. So if you
make a deception check for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of itch my chest as I say this and guidance myself. If you want him to live, I would leave me the fuck alone. 6.
What you got, Sam?
Okay. You can see him just kind of crack this crooked smile, and he's like, "Oh well, if you die and he dies, I suppose that's just 2 birds, 1 stone, eh?"
Yeah, but we both know Declan doesn't want him dead.
Oh, you may know that. I've heard otherwise. Go on and put your weapons down.
Who told you to come? Was it the Harlequin?
Oh.
The what?
Oh, you don't know about the Harlequin.
Oh, some boogeyman. Is that supposed to scare me?
Is that what you think?
Look, I'm only going to ask you one more time.
How deep do you think this goes, friend?
You see him kind of step forward and lean over the edge of this ravine, like towards you, kind of arm across his knee. He says, "We are real sick of you, and drop your weapons."
The thing is,
I call out to you. Are you there?
You don't hear anything.
Oh, God damn it.
Emmett, what are you doing?
Harlequin, I think it's time you and I meet again.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
And
what is this?
I look at everyone out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stalling a little.
Yeah, this guy is just kind of looking at you, and you see him like come back up off the ravine again. He's like,
"How much power do you really have if your own doesn't know who you are? As a god or not? If those who don't believe, who's supposed to follow you that you don't know of? I don't know. It doesn't seem like you're very powerful at all."
I'm getting sick of this speech. Suppose we'll just see how well that spell of yours is, eh? And he just gives a sharp whistle.
I cast heat metal on all of them. I don't know if I can.
Wait, can I?
You can't. That's fair. He gives this sharp whistle.
Yeah.
And you can see both of the wolves kind of like give like their kind of just low growl turns into very aggressive, and they go to leap towards you.
Oh shit.
We're gonna go. I mean, you have you have a moment to use a reaction right now. So if you want to do something, go for it.
Can I see all this going down?
Yes, this interaction happens. You're just staring over out the window.
I mean, if I
6
have
seconds.
a reaction, then my reaction is to run back inside. Like, I don't think you can cast a spell as a reaction, right?
Not unless it has a. I'm more so of giving you that window to do something. Yeah. If it's, but you turn. He gives a sharp whistle, and you turn to run.
I book it back inside, screaming, "Do the thing, Day! Do the thing!"
You dash and give a do the thing. You open the door. You guys can see these wolves literally run to the edge and leap and land right where Emmett was as he just rounds the corner. Huge wolves.
All right, gents, we need to
arrows
make sure
are also fired from these two at the cottage, and you hear them thunk into the roof.
Oof.
And you begin to hear the crackle of fire. The door flies open, and Emmett runs in.
Do the thing! Do the thing!
All right, no, not yet. Not
rolling
yet.
initiative. We're rolling
Gentlemen,
initiative.
Okay.
20, baby.
I'm gonna slide the map down.
Nat.
Let's see if I can just angle the camera up a bit because you can't really see the very top half.
I got an 11 plus 1, so 12.
Try not to get too. See how it looks on the stream. That'll work. Yeah, look at that duct tape holding everything down. Killing it.
All right.
Not great. Okay, so initiatives. What do you guys got?
20.
12.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 for a total of 20 day?
No, total of 21, I think.
Okay.
Goddamn. 15.
21 for day. Enjoy the mechanical keyboard, everyone.
Ooh.
Nice.
How much do you have, Emmett? 15?
Yeah.
And 7?
What did I say? I said 12, right?
Sure. You got a 12.
Can we talk about real quick? I'm just gonna throw this out there. How Wolf Boy 101 just followed. I think he's into the dire wolves. I'm just gonna throw that.
Nice. Hey, Wolf Boy.
Thank you, Wolf Boy. You might need some characters. This is perfect. Okay, so wolves leap and are barking and biting and gnashing. Big, huge wolves. You can hear that arrows have been fired at this place, and hear the crackling of fire happening above. I mean, they're bearing down on you guys. Day, you're up first. What are you doing?
All right, gentlemen. It is in our best interest to let these guys think they killed us. We need to make them burn this house down.
Yeah, so you say that. Now what are you doing? Because it's 6 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still invisible.
Yes.
I'll use message the closest deck member I can and say, you'd be lucky if you can burn this place down. We put fire prevention all over. Good luck.
Okay.
What is Smokey the Bear?
Make a
yeah. Take
We've
that.
covered it in safety.
Oh,
make a deception check for me at advantage because he's just randomly hearing this in his mind.
10 total.
10. Okay. You send this message. You can see him kind of glaring around. Weapons are drawn. He's just looking around, a little confused, but seems to be unfazed by what you have said.
Wait. Hey! I have an idea. What if we?
It's not your turn yet.
Fuck.
Battle.
We're literally in initiative, so this matters.
Oh, right. I forgot
Day,
about that.
you have used your action. You've spoken. Do you want to move or bonus anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Emmett, you are up.
Why are we still here? And I throw your cloaks off. At least let something get burned. I mean, I take off. Do I have any actual? I just have armor, right? Like there's.
Yeah, but you're probably wearing like a traveling, like a regular cloak. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
I take off. I guess I take off my cloak and I throw it down on the floor and I look. I don't really have anything that I would want to leave burned, so I'm going to do that and then bar the door. I guess that's a lot.
Okay, so you throw your cloak down. Go ahead.
I'm gonna bar the door, and I'm gonna go to a table and start trying to push it over towards the door. I guess. Sorry.
Can I speak to Emmett right now?
No, we're in initiative order, so this is like literally this is all. It's essentially happening at the same time. That's what you can speak on your turn, but it's something that you would get out in 6 seconds. We can't stop and have a conversation, and it's only speaking on your turn. So Emmett says, "Why are we still here? I'm barring the door." Throws his cloak down, runs over, and begins moving the table. You're not going to get it at the door yet because it's a big table, but you start dragging this table in a hurry towards the door. All right. This guy's gonna down. This guy's down. Right, step this way. You can see them all kind of like descending down, all of them with pairs of daggers, and that one guy who was speaking with you just kind of is just laughing and looks rather pleased with himself. Next, you guys can see wolves one of them like disappears, starts around the corner. Other one gets to the door and is just gonna try and like bust through it. It's shut, but he's just gonna bite into it. You hear his weight slam against the door, and can hear him like scratching against it. But the door is still it's enough that just good thing he doesn't have thumbs. The door is still closed, and he slams into it, not getting through it, but it's not great. It's pretty terrifying. There's a huge ass wolf clawing at this door, and attempting to get in. 7, it is your turn.
I'm gonna try to help Emmett with the fucking with the barring the door, and I'm gonna say
with your I'm good. What are you gonna say?
And I'm gonna say let's get the fuck out of here, dude, or let's run to this cellar and shut the door or something before this house burns with us inside of it.
All right, say that. I'll say you both pick up the table like on its end and stand it up and slam it against the door frame. And you're like, the table's there and you're like pressed up against it with your weight, like holding it as this thing is tearing down the door or attempting to. You guys hear another just like and can hear this fire increase. The crackling on the roof, seeming like another volley was just shot into the cottage. Top of the round, Day, it's your turn again.
All right, gents, we got to get this place on fire as soon as we can.
It sounds like it's on fire and getting worse. It's very much, the roof is very much on fire.
Is the roof very on fire?
Like you heard 2 more arrows hit, and you can hear like a fire crackling and catching quite rapidly.
I say we wait until this is done, and then I jump in the hole in the floor, kind of motioning for the 2 gents to join me.
Okay,
nice.
You're invisible and they can't see you.
Oh, gents, in here, in the floor hole.
You guys can hear him like land, I guess, because he jumps down, and you hear him say, "Get in the floor hole."
Emit any sacred flame to help this fire burn.
I don't think flame works that way.
Oh no!
So you jump down. Okay. Anything else from you? Are you? Do you want to hide in the hole, or are you just jumping down in there?
I'm invisible in the hole. I'm chilling.
You are. Okay. You jump down in the hole. Emmett, it's your turn.
Guys, take off something to where they think we're dead. Let it burn. And I jump. I guess I go over to the hole and I reach out for like a.
Sure.
Dave, touch me. I don't know what's happening.
Hey, grab his shoulders.
You jump down and you feel a hand on your shoulder as you also hunker down in this hole. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. You guys hear more splintering of wood and like barking, and 7, even with you against the table, you can feel like you're like being bumped up off of it as this thing is impacting into the door. Good thing this table is here. You feel like scratching and stuff on the other side of the table, but it seems like they at least got through the door. But these things are like trying to bring this door down. You can hear laughing and shouting and footsteps as well. It seems like more guys are running up towards this place. What are you doing? It's now your turn.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if it's my turn, I'm gonna dive into the door and shut it behind me. And maybe before I do that, I'm gonna cast minor illusion of, as best I can, of myself on fire, running around in the window, so I see out the windows.
You jump in the hole and you're gonna minor illusion yourself running in circles, screaming while you're on fire.
Maybe like yelling like, convincingly as best I can. I'm on fire.
Yeah. So you're doing the illusion, you're yelling because you can't make the illusion.
I'm yelling myself because I can't do both.
So you just dive into the hole going, "Help, I'm on fire," and make
help, I'm on fire. Somebody put me out as I'm like creeping into the fucking cellar and shutting the door. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Do you want to tell Allie to do anything, or do you want to pop him out?
Pop him out of existence, or back into his little pocket dimension.
You just made all the fans stress out way less, because if Owl died again, I'm sure people would be mad at me and you.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Owlie is popped and safe. You hop in and you pull the latch over you and just and you guys are just in darkness. You're in this tiny room. You can hear all of this shredding of the wood and everything happening. Are you guys just attempting to hide out here? Is that the game plan?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm hoping these guys shoot a couple more fire arrows.
You hear that continue. I mean, it's kind of muffled, right? For right now, we'll even jump back to a regular camera view because things are going to change. At least the position has changed a bit. Okay.
Yeah, let's.
So you guys are literally. Right? It is dark. You guys have jumped down, cover this latch like behind you, and you're remaining silent. You can hear the wolves. You hear arrows hit, and you can hear this fire intensity kind of roar and crackle all around you. Speak freely for the moment. You're just hearing fire go on. And you can hear like the wolves barking and wood being splintered and stuff.
This is real bad.
Okay. All right.
Do we want this house to crash down on us? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think we're waiting for the house to crash down or them to break in. But even if they start working the door,
you hear like a loud crash. Presumably the wolves breaking through the door or part of the cottage collapsing. You don't know. By the way, no, not at the moment. Like you're just in the hole, so speak and act freely. But this is just what's happening.
Once the thing starts
to burn,
just
this like you don't know if it's the door breaking in.
We're in the middle of a burning cottage. Unless the dire wolves are fucking nuts, right? Or they could be burned up too. So
they can't get in. I have no idea how dire wolves work. Are we trying to escape?
You guys can hear the wolves walking around above you, and you can hear just that low rumbly growl. You can hear their like paw prints. You know what I mean? You can hear them walking around. Just this low rumbling growl as it seems like they're searching this place. You can still hear the fire going.
All right, let's see.
I activate my talisman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go ahead.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Yeah. You activate this talisman for a moment. You guys can.
But as he touches it, can I say something real quick?
You have a brief moment because he reaches into it and like grabs it, and you see this faint like golden light kind of emanating from those rings. As you can see, some of them all like rotating and spinning.
Oh, cool! Doctor Strange style.
Doctor Strange style, exactly. And there's this faint glow of this golden light kind of emanating from this. So say what you want as that's happening.
Can we take
probably
them?
Not, dude.
How do you know that?
Probably not because there's five of them, 3 of us. They're deck members. They could be high ranking, and there's 2 dire wolves. If the 2 dire wolves weren't there, I'd say, hey, maybe we got a chance. But I'd say we're outgunned.
Okay. Do it.
This golden light just kind of emanates and brightens, almost like the sunrise would, where it's just like it's kind of pretty at first, and then kind of bright where you have to shield yourself from it, and then overwhelming where you're just blinded almost. And the light dissipates for that moment, and you come to, and you are all hunched down and kind of huddled together, like in a huddle, grabbed onto each other, and you are in this almost kind of like a big diamond-shaped room, so to speak. There are these torches with this like hovering flame lit, but you don't see a torch. It's just like a sconce and then fire above it, like you've seen before when you were in the tower at Calcaris's, giving this whole place some faint light. There is a very like opulent kind of think like an oriental rug or something huge laid out across the whole floor, and there are several like colorful pendants, greens and reds and yellows, just various colors with like silver and gold filigree on them. No emblems, but just the colors, like runners would be almost, just scattered all around the room. You don't see any doors or it's just like you can tell you're kind of in this tower, but you haven't been in this room before, and you don't see any doors, you don't see anything. Cool. And in the center of this chamber, kind of off to the side where you guys are huddled, is this lone marbled stone pedestal, and there's a large like enameled and golden bowl sitting in the center of it.
I walk
Stand
toward the
up.
bowl, try and see what's inside of it.
It is full of water.
I cast Identify on it.
Okay.
I cast. Yeah.
Yeah, you cast Identify on it, and it is just this bowl. There's no magical properties to it. It's very fancy, and it seems real expensive. Like it's a fancy bowl, but it's just a bowl full of water.
All right. So,
I
you think the deck? You think the deck thinks I'm dead?
I doubt it. If you didn't leave anything for them to think that.
Emmett, will you roll a d12 for me real quick? Actually, all of you roll one.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
A 6.
Okay.
A 4.
Okay. Cool. So, carry on for right now.
I'm sorry, 7. I tried and I failed.
I know.
I feel like
I don't think I would have done much better.
Day, you would notice this too, by the way, after you guys all activate this, and you kind of check as like that necklace just saved her ass, and you look down at it. It had 4 rings, essentially like 4 layers going in smaller and smaller. That central little, like the smallest middleless ring is now missing.
Oh.
Word.
I don't understand. It doesn't seem... Maybe I do understand. It doesn't seem like there is a realm to talk anymore. I think they've moved past that point.
Well, they clearly want you dead. I think that they want all of us dead now, actually. And I believe that they have no idea how I look.
Well,
but
they saw you on the...
There is a rumble in the chamber. The ground shifts briefly, like as if you were in this tower, like the whole place was shaking. You guys have experienced like a tremor at the keep before. Similar to that, you feel this quake happen. And even standing near this bowl, you can see full-on Jurassic Park style, the like ripples happen across the bowl, and then steady again. There's just this rumble in this place.
Balls.
I hate this feeling.
Yeah,
it's likely called Carious.
Doom.
It's not the rumble. It's the feeling lost.
Oh.
I can understand that.
Okay.
Kazmina has said nothing to us.
There is
Nothing
a
back.
second rumble.
Can we tell where it's coming from?
I mean, you're just in this room, but the whole room is
just...
Yeah, if you are in the tower, the whole place is just quaking. You have no idea where you are. You ported here from some necklace a wizard gave you.
Fuck. Yeah, fuck. I guess I'm gonna try to leave the room.
I mean, if I'm being honest.
I'm trying to find a door, window, something, some way out.
There are no doors. There are no windows. There are just these several colored, like banners draping down, like going down the wall and even spilling over and like laying onto the floor a bit. All kinds of colors: purples, yellows, red.
Okay. Hey guys. Before whatever happens, I'm going to run and hide behind these things and cast minor illusion, so it looks like those things are in front of me, where I am. And
okay, so you just run and like hide behind a banner against the wall. Illusion to cover yourself as best you can.
I'm just gonna fucking yep, minor illusion, y'all. Where
Nailed
am
it.
I? Oh,
Perfect.
I don't know.
You guys can still see his shoes sticking out, and you can see through his illusion, but he's hiding as best he can. If you'd like to go ahead and roll stealth, I'm fine with that. So he's run off and is hiding.
I'm splashing myself in the face with the water.
Okay, you dip your hand in this water and
that's not good.
Splash yourself in the face. It is cool and refreshing, but I mean, you don't break any perceived illusion or anything like that. I mean, you are wet.
I rolled a 7 by me's luck.
Okay, go for it.
19.
Hey,
oh
that's a lot better.
yes.
A 20 something.
So that's
Guys,
stealth is
You kind of like laugh at the
20.
moment as he says, "I'm just gonna run and hide," and he like disappears. You see him pull behind the banner. You splash yourself in the water, and you look around, and you can't see Seven. You know he's behind the banner. You don't know which one.
I can't. Do you really think we're in danger right now? I can't imagine Calcareous would give us something to help us and then transport us to a place where we would be in danger.
We haven't been here in a while. We don't know what's going on. Maybe the Minotaur escaped. Maybe the archives are under assault. I don't know. Maybe the deck is after this place. Maybe the green cloaks are here. We don't know, man.
He's saying all this, Emmett, and there's as you're still standing right by this bowl after you just splash yourself too. You can hear like a drop, like a water drop landing in the bowl, so to speak. Like you hear that drip noise. Exactly, perfect. I can't do that. Nailed it. You hear a drop, and you turn and look, and there is a little like cloud of red in the bowl.
Huh.
Oh.
I step back a little.
Okay.
What is that? That's new. Does it look like the storm?
No. It looks like a drop of blood in the bowl.
I look up onto the ceiling.
Give me a perception check.
With guidance.
Sure.
Man, you just, 7 total.
Looking up, even with the dim light in here, you can't see a ceiling, but you don't know if you don't know where you are, what's up with this place.
Oops,
You're
sorry.
the best with your 7, and you can't tell if there's anything up there or if it's just too high and goes beyond where you can see. You have dark vision, so even if it's dark, you imagine your initial guess is either something weird is at play or that's a really, really high ceiling. I can't tell.
Day. Where's the ceiling?
I look up.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I'm gonna check my nose.
7 total.
Is any blood coming? I'm not. It's not.
No, and you weren't leaning over the bowl. You were by it,
yeah.
reach into it and splash yourself. But it's kind of like he said that you looked over and you heard the drop and you looked and saw that.
Calcareous.
I look around. I'm looking for any openings, any doors on the outskirts of this room.
Yeah, even as you guys appeared here and have been having this conversation, there are no windows and there are no doors.
Calcareous. Are you?
What is your perception as you look up?
Mine was a 7.
Okay, yeah, you also see just darkness as best you can tell. You don't know if it's how high it goes, but you don't see anything. You call out to Calcareous. You don't hear anything. There's no response, and there is another. You both can see as you're looking up. You just see this quick drop land and hit the bowl again.
What?
Did I see where it came from?
It's like straight above it, somewhere from the dark ceiling up above.
You got eyes? A way to get up there at all?
Oh no, you're the one with dark vision. You don't see anything?
No.
7. You see anything up above us?
All right. I guess I could peek out of the from the curtains. See, just for looking at. Hey, what do I see?
Go for it.
We need light up there.
Yeah. Do you want to maybe cast some light up there?
I can't really do that.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me?
You're ridiculous.
You got 20?
Nice.
Dude. You fucking see that, dude? Sorry.
It's good. So 7, you peek out from behind your hiding spot and look up, and with your half-elven eyes and your natural 20, you can see the ceiling is kind of obscured in darkness, but it's not too super high. But again, you don't know where you are, what's in play here. But you see standing on the ceiling, basically hanging upside down, if the ceiling was the floor, is a familiar masked individual, and basically upside down like this, holding 2 daggers, is the Harlequin.
Oh no! I knew it.
And as you you go and look, and he just does one of these, and you just see that mask, it sees you more or less. It looks up as you peek out to look up. It mirrors you and looks right at you with just that weird porcelain face. And that's what we're gonna pick up next week.
No!
Hey!
Why? It's supposed to bring us back to Calcareous, not to the Harlequin.
Well, I kind of did both.
I'm so mind fucked right now.